And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got to talk about the Texas border war, potentially. Is it a civil war? Is it overblown? What's going to happen? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, New York City migrants being evicted from shelters after 60 days. Is it a good start? Too little, too late? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Walmart baby. A woman brings her 2-year-old wearing nothing but a diaper, no shirt, no pants, only a diaper, in 20-degree weather in Mississippi, while she had on a sweater and a coat and a hat. Really crazy. She got arrested. Baby got taken away. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later as well. Also, Starbucks Crimefighters. You got 2 baristas breaking up an armed robbery. Who would have thought the baristas would get into action, into some bare knuckle fisticuffs, into a good old clobbering, turning one guy's head into Mount Kilauea immediately. The crater, the lava, all that good stuff right on his head top. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Plus, I have a plethora of videos you have not seen on my channel. We're going to discuss all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's a whole lot happening, a lot of videos, a lot of news, a little bit of everything. You got the whole E. Jean Carroll kerfuffle. What's Trump got to pay? How much money? Like $80 million or something crazy? What's the total amount? Over $80 million he has to pay to E. Jean Carroll. 83.3 for quote unquote defaming E. Jean Carroll. I mean, what type of sense does that make? Did I do something illegal or not? Like, what's really going on? We're going to get into all those stories in just a few. But first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to you guys, of course, for watching the show. I couldn't do it without y'all. But shout out to the sponsors. We got patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the box, or just go to patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. There you can find articles that I write for each video on the front page of the website. And in each article, you're able to find links from the left, right, local, national, international, whatever you want for sources. There's also always full videos. Anything that I can post legally without getting sent to the penitentiary, Bit Rocks, Little Rocks, it'll be right there on the website, even if it's not on the YouTube. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, go to the contact page. There you can find my email address, my snail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, not going to call it X, Instagram. All those good things are on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you are conversing with me on these interwebs or not, the best thing to do would be to go to the contact page to see if the method of communication is listed on the page. If it's not, then it's not me. Don't get scammed. Ain't nobody got time for that. Y'all know how it is. It's going to be a Nigerian dude, straight bald head, in a 100 square foot hovel in the middle of Lagos with 15 other guys all on their cell phones. Oh, we're going to get the foreigners today, huh? We're going to get them today. We're going to score a big fish today. Don't be the big fish they score in that 75 square foot hovel in Lagos. Don't have that happen to you. Don't nobody got time for that. This is 2024. We're going to have a new president. We're going to go forward. We're going to conquer. We're going to be excellent. We're going to be amazing. Don't nobody got time to lose our hard-earned monies to some random dude and some hut. Like, don't nobody got time for that. Hut or Wi-Fi. We don't got time for that. Nor do we have time to lose our money to some 25,182 pound person in some old Soviet bloc, Lithuania, Poland, Belarus. Don't nobody got time for that. Okay. You must send gift card here. Send it to the address right here. If he dies, he dies. Don't nobody got time to get scammed by Dolph Lundgren's 100% morbidly obese cousin. But anyway, if you're ever wondering if you're talking to me or not, the best way to go about it would be to go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And also go to ablmerch.com for all your hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. We got it right there on the website. All these links and more will be in the box, along with the link for the audio-only version of the podcast you're listening to right now. This will be available the very next day after I record live on the YouTubes. Today is Saturday, what's this, January 27th, 2024. So Sunday, January 28th, it'll be available at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right. But yeah, shout out to the Nigerians, or nothing against the Nigerians, and shout out to the old Soviet blocs. You guys, look, I love the borscht over there in Eastern Europe, and I love the fufu and all the hot spices that make your nose hairs completely just shoot out of your face. I love you guys' food and your culture, all that good stuff. So no hate. It's all jokes, okay? No hate, all jokes. But we got a whole lot going on here. And thank y'all again for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got quite a bit happening, and I don't even know really where I want to begin. I think I want to start with just an interesting thing, an interesting video that I saw. And I think before I do that, I'm going to share this on the Twitters. Shout out to you guys on Twitter, now known as X. I wonder who still calls it X. So check us out live. There we go, right now. Y'all pardon me, I'm doing a million things at once, but who calls it X? Not me. I'm gonna call it Twitter until forever, and that's just kind of what it is. All right, and let's check this out now. Modern art. I'm gonna tell you guys a very quick story, then I'm gonna get to some of these videos here. So back when I was a much younger man, I was into art, like visual. I'm talking about painting, drawing, anything, spray paint, any kind of visual art. I was not a rapper like Ben Shapiro wants to be right now, but that's a different story I'll talk about a little bit later. I was not a rapper or a singer. I was a visual, physical media artist. That's what I did. But when I was like 18, 19, probably like 19, 20, I realized that it was just kind of phony. I got more into the business side of it by being the graphic designer. I didn't really want to be doing painting and stuff like that. I didn't want to be involved in that world. I thought it was just kind of phony. I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole world. And I see that what I was saying back then, back in the early 2000s, is still true today as far as how phony art is. And these people that say that they are connoisseurs of art in the museums and galleries and shows and whatnot, they are just as phony as I said they were 20 years ago. Now, check this out. What do you see right here in front of you? For you guys who can't see the actual screen, I'm going to describe it. What you have is sort of, I guess you would say this might be an art gallery. You got a bunch of people standing around, sitting around, watching this guy and a bunch of eggs on the ground, evenly placed from each other, but at the same time, kind of oddly placed. Some appear to be placed haphazardly. Some are not. It's really weird. But let's see what kind of art exhibit this is. All right, check it out. And RIP in advance to the headphone users. So this is like a compilation. My man right here, I'm not quite sure what you call this. Like, what kind of art is that? People recording it. What are we recording exactly? Now, in case you're wondering, this right here, this person, that's me. Okay, that's me. The beard and all that is gone, and I weigh a few more pounds, but that's me for real. And I'm really just kind of amazed at what's happening. Everyone here votes. Listen to what I'm saying. Everyone in this room votes. So when you're talking about, okay, we got to, get to the polls. Yes, you got to get to the polls, but at the same time, understand who your enemy is. Understand who the opponent is. These people, once you really get to understand how humans are, it's kind of crazy when you have all the different personalities in one room. Like, put all of humanity in one room and see how nuts it is. Tower of Babel. That's why they split them up. But I don't want to get too deep right now, so I digress. Okay, this person right here is painting something with their extended eyelashes. This person is beating a slab of butter in front of people at an art gallery. This guy has got to be in his 60s or 70s. He's barefoot and he's literally just he's kind of like scrunched up and hunching forward while drawing with, I guess that would be like a piece of chalk on a blackboard with an entire gallery watching him. My man right here, listen to what I'm saying. This person votes. This person is a person at your PTA meeting, the person at Starbucks, the person who is arguing with you on the internet about why you're wrong about abortion and guns and everything else. That's the reality of what's happening. Now, to press forward a little bit into reality, here's something that I also saw a while ago. I may have played it before, but I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna play this, then I'm gonna play something else that gives you a little bit more hope. I'm gonna just bring it on back home.
Capital.
Okay, so the question, what's the capital of the USA?
The capital of the USA is?
Isn't the capital USA?
Yeah. What is the capital?
USA? United States?
Yeah, like, of the states, what's the capital?
America?
Yeah, it was a trick question. You got me. Dude, you know who the first president of the United States was?
Abraham Lincoln.
Do you know how many stars there are on the U.S. flag?
100? I don't know. No, 200, something like that. I don't know.
Yes, around the capital.
So when you're talking about like average people, normies in the street, and they want to come up to me and talk politics, I try not to. I try not to talk politics openly just around random people because I know that they don't know a lot. I'm talking about basic things they don't know. So I know that when I approach them with some basic knowledge, like how many states there are, the capital of the U.S., they're going to get offended potentially, and they might take it as disrespect that I'm trying to show them up by knowing the capital of our USA. So again, they vote, they most certainly, they vote, they drive, they do all of that. They might be behind the counter at the Subway making your sandwich. Have no idea what's happening with the whole world. All right. Yeah, that's straight Democrat voter all day long. Now, shout out to the contrast I'm going to show you. Shout out to King Randall out there, Albany, Georgia. King Randall has a school, a prep school for boys. And King Randall's like in his early 20s himself. He's like 22 years old. He's a very, very young man himself, but he has an entire school that's funded by donations from people, just regular everyday Joes like you and I. And he's able to teach real life skills. And there's been quite a few videos of his that have been floating around. One where he's showing how to change oil in the vehicle. But this one is very important about gun safety. There was a video floating around, and the video was about when should you allow your kids around guns loaded And it was pretty controversial. I got to find that one because that was very controversial. Lie your kids around loaded. And then the guy was like, well, look, as soon as they can learn about gun safety, you can leave the gun around the kids loaded. You can leave your gun right there on the dresser and the kids won't touch it because they know not to bother it. They know that that's not what should be going on. All right. Now, I'm going to play this, and then you're going to see kind of what I'm talking about gun safety and how this is going to be very effective for your young kids. They could be very young. If they're old enough to know not to touch a hot stove or things of this nature, then they also can know to not touch or how to do with guns properly. So check it out. And this really, although it's for young people, can apply to adults as well as a pretty good lesson on gun safety.
Mr. King, but I took the magazine out. Yeah, you can take the magazine out and the firearm will still shoot. You understand? Yes, sir. So that's why it's important that we clear it because there is what still in this chamber? A bullet. A bullet still in the chamber, right? Yes, sir. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rack it and bullet going to pop out. You understand? Yes, sir. If you don't see no bullet in there, then you cleared it with your own eyeballs. If somebody passes you a weapon, what we doing? We gonna clear it, right? Yes, sir. If somebody passes you a weapon, what we gonna do? Clear it. We gonna clear it because we ain't clear it with our own eyeballs, right? Yes, sir. So that's how we gonna stay safe. I don't care if you saw them clear it. When it get past to you, it ain't clear no more until you clear it. You understand? Yes, sir. If you clear any weapon, you're gonna rack it back like that, like such, and you're gonna make sure ain't no bullet in there.
And so that was a pretty good lesson right there about how to clear a weapon. And to always treat your weapon as if it's loaded, as if it's, got one in the chamber. The magazine's out, but that doesn't mean that there's not one in the chamber. So what sometimes will happen is somebody would maybe just drop the magazine and then go playing with the gun, pushing the trigger, and that's something else. Don't touch the trigger. Don't be like your man Alec Baldwin playing with the trigger. Don't do that. Talking about something, oh, well, the gun just went off. No, you touched the trigger. You pulled the trigger. That's what happened. Okay. And unless you got a faulty weapon, but regardless of what, don't touch the trigger. Make sure your gun is clear at all times. So that was a really good lesson. And these are young kids, like boys and maybe like some like teenagers, but definitely young kids can most certainly take that lesson. And now he's showing them how to actually do with the weapons and clear them with hands-on education.
Good job. Racking it. Good job. Sit down. Just press the button. I'll point the weapon at me. Thank you. Good job. Okay, we'll just use this hand. Use both. There you go. Good job. Learn proper safety. We also learn how to clear a weapon or a handgun when we find it, right? Yes, sir! All right, so again, our weapon safety rules. Treat, never, keep. Treat, never, keep! Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. Keep your fingers straightened off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Keep your weapon on safe until you're ready to fire. You understand? Yes, sir! All right, that's how we're going to do that every single time. And of course, again, we learned how to clear a weapon today. And we also learned about freaking ammunition.
So there we go. That's how it should be. That should be a lesson taught to kids in school. It used to be a time you could bring your actual rifle to school, have it in the back of your truck or whatever it was. You had gun classes in school, but that seems to be kind of, a thing of the past. Now we're worried about school shootings. I mean, I wonder what happened. Now, here's a video I was trying to find about gun safety. And I want to get you guys' response to the question that's being asked in the interview. And shout out to you guys on the Facebook. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Christine. I appreciate y'all for being there. Thank you to the Facebook viewers. Please give me a thumbs up over there as well. But here's the question.
Where should you keep?
Okay. And then the question is, where should you keep your gun? Loaded weapon. You got kids in the house. Where should you keep your gun? Should it be locked up in the safe loaded? Should it be on a nightstand? Should it be on the high shelf, not locked up? Where should it be? On the kitchen counter? Let's check it out.
Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety? Okay, let's just say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed, okay? Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun on their safe? I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage. How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna do.
All right. So, I mean, what do you guys think? And pardon the language, I'm sorry, but you know, this guy, I think he's former military. So, you know, that's part of the thing. So shout out to all the military guys, all the veterans. But it's an honest question. Where do you leave your weapons if you have kids in the house? And then his response was, okay, well, when have we taught these kids about firearm safety? If the kids have not been instructed about what a gun is and how to treat it, and it's a dangerous tool if it's used improperly, and used properly, it can be dangerous. If the kids have not been taught that, then of course you can't have it out because they're not going to know any better. But if you've taught the kids about firearm safety, can you just leave it out? Now, on the flip side, you got people that might take the gun to school and do all kind of crazy stuff. But if a kid takes a gun to school, so now you got a different problem going on. Now you got something that you are failing to address. As I've said many times before, I had a gun, a BB gun, when I was in middle school, maybe even late elementary. It looked identical to a real gun, but I never in my life waved it around at people, brought it to school, nothing like that. And it was never in the safe. It was always in my room. It was always in my bookcase. I got my Goosebumps books and my BB gun right next to each other. Never one time did I think to go out and play with the gun inappropriately, wave it around at people, take it to school. And this is a BB gun. Never did I think to use this gun improperly because I knew how it looked at a young age, middle school, like 10, 11 years old. I knew that. So it's a question, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, have you guys heard about some of the mass layoffs with mainstream media? New York Times, I believe, they're losing people. A lot of other places are losing people. Now, the question is, why are they losing people? What's going on? We got an election coming up. You would think they'd be gearing up because of election coverage, but they're cutting people. Maybe it's because old school media is dying. And whenever you see a hit piece on alternative media from the mainstream media, I mean, it could be true. It may not be a hit piece, but you got to think maybe this is going to be something that they're doing to try and preserve their industry, their dying industry. Okay, it's the last gasp of a drowning man. But at a certain point, the man's going to drown and it's going to be a wrap. And then whoever is surviving will take over whatever that drowned man has done. So the old school media, they're going to be the way of the dodo bird. They're going to be extinct. All right. The refrigerator came along. No more need for the Iceman. As simple as that. At a certain point, we're not going to have any more cashiers. And at certain stores, there are no more cashiers. Certain stores, it's all self-checkout. And it's funny because I've seen some postings on the internet talking about, oh, well, we got to close the self-checkout because of dishonesty. People are stealing too much. Yeah, the stealing is going through the roof. I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Shout out to CVS over there in Washington, D.C., but let's check this out from Taylor Lorenz, who is a nut job, but I want to hear her take on what's happening with the mainstream media.
Journalism industry is basically in a free fall. Today, the Los Angeles Times laid off 115 employees. They wiped out their entire DC bureau in an election year. They laid off pretty much all of their sports teams. They killed their entire tech and business section. They laid off breaking news writers, social media editors. The list goes on. But what's really dark is this is just the latest in months and months and months of layoffs in the media industry. In fact, tens of thousands of journalists have been laid off in the past year. Major media companies companies like BuzzFeed News have completely shuttered their news operations. Time magazine also just laid off a ton of people, and Sports Illustrated basically shut down last week. Pretty much the entire digital media ecosystem that myself and a lot of other millennial journalists came up in has been completely hollowed out. And it's not just digital media sites. Local news has been obliterated. The newspaper industry is cratering. Radio is essentially dead aside from NPR, which has been gutted. Meanwhile, hundreds of workers at Condé Nast, the parent company of pretty much every major magazine from GQ to Vogue to The New Yorker to Vanity Fair, are on strike because they're also facing impending layoffs.
I mean, look, that's just technology moving forward. Hey, what your man say? What did your man say? Hold on. I think I can find something right here from somebody that we all know. I'm not going to say we all love this person, but somebody that we all know. Back in the day, he was saying something about, well, hey, you can learn to do something else. Remember this?
Anybody?
Hold on. Let's watch this.
Anybody who go down 300 to 3,000 feet in the mine, sure and hell can learn how to program as well.
Learn the code. Learn the code, man. Come on, Jack. Come on, man. Corn Pop, all them guys. Come on, man. Let's get it together. Learn how to code.
Give me a break. Anybody who can throw coal into a furnace can learn how to program, for God's sake. Anybody who go down.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Hey, man, learn the code. Learn the code and get the vax. Ain't that right? LA Times, get the vax. Don't worry about any kind of side effects. Go ahead and get it. Ain't that right? LA Times, New York Times, learn the code. If you got laid off as a coal miner in Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, we remember that what you guys said in your newspapers, what you guys said in your politics. So now it's your turn. And it is what it is. If you're going to say that about us, then have it apply to you as well. Don't go on strike. Learn how to do what we do. Learn how to, start a YouTube channel. Actually, don't do that. I don't want you guys polluting the water over here. Stay over there. Try to go on strike. Try to revive that dying industry. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. But that was really a dumb statement from Joe Biden, a really ridiculous statement. But you guys know how that man is. We'll talk more about him a little bit later. I'm going to let Miss Taylor Lorenz and her ridiculous self finish. Then we keep on rocking and rolling.
Even mainstream national media outlets owned by billionaires like the Washington Post, where I work, and the Atlantic, where I used to work, have done layoffs. If you're a young journalist today, there's almost no on-ramp to traditional journalism. Even if you do get a job, journalists' salaries have been stagnant and even declined. And by the way, we don't make that much to begin with. I don't think people understand how bad the world would be without journalists.
Well, hey, you got to be independent. You got to, working for a company those days, these big companies with all their bureaucracy and everything and just bloated salaries is coming to an end. No longer are you going to be able to just go to college, become a journalist in school, rack up this crazy debt, and then just go work for New York Times. Those days are coming to an end. And you guys are talking about it in the chat. You have the rise of AI. That's going to be the new wave. AI can do your programming. AI can do your journalism. We covered the story of Sports Illustrated going away. And there was this whole big thing, this whole big kerfuffle about them hiring a third party to write articles for the website. And the third party was using AI. Not only were they using AI to write the articles, they also used AI to create pictures and fake names of journalists. So nothing about what they were doing was really inspired by human beings, aside from probably one guy that would just impute stuff into prompts and post it on the website. That third party might have been two guys in a 200 square foot little hovel in Bangladesh somewhere, writing the stuff using AI. That's probably what happened. And he probably got it. You know what probably happened? They probably hired somebody on Fiverr who's living in India to produce content for them. And then when they got exposed, now they got to write this whole big PR thing, which was probably also AI generated. But I'm going way down the rabbit hole, so I digress. We got some more here. Shout out to my man right here, Patriot, who's talking about this whole thing with the transformers in women's sports. This is a really big thing. You got the transformers in women's boxing. That's going to be crazy. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not interested in domestic violence. I'm not trying to see a man beat up on a woman. That ain't my cup of tea. Okay, we got weight classes. Why can't we have gender classes as well, like we always have had since the dawn of man? Look, if you must weigh 145 pounds to fight somebody who's 145, and if you are a few pounds too heavy, like let's say you're in the 145 weight class, you weigh in 158, it's not enough to be disqualified because you just weigh a little bit too much. You had a few too many hamburgers, a few too many coquitos, too many Coronas with lime, a little bit too much partying, okay? A little bit too much in Tijuana or somewhere right before their fight in Vegas. You get there, you're a little bit plump, and you get DQ'd, disqualified. But you could be a whole different gender with different hormones, body mass, skeletal structure, upper body strength, all that, and fight against a biological woman. What part of the game is that? Isn't the weight difference between a 145 woman and a 158 woman less than the difference between a 145 man and a 145 woman? Like, where's our brain at? What are we talking about here exactly? It's really strange to me. But shout out to the Patriot right here who is standing up. So I'm going to read the caption, then I'm going to get into what he said. It says, powerful. This man and his wife coached school sports teams for 25 years in Oregon. They resigned this week because woke school policies demand males be able to play in female sports. He says he will not lie to kids and encourages others to speak up. So let's check it out.
Hi.
And again, RIP headphone users.
Hi, Dave Brown from Stand Tall. Last night, my wife and I resigned our head coaching positions for varsity and JV girls tennis at our high school we're at. For the last 25 years, I've coached varsity basketball, varsity tennis, coached in over 1,090 games, won 667 and lost 423. Have had a lot of success, but I finally reached the point where I had to resign last night because of boys playing girls tennis. And the reason we did is we're just not going to support boys playing girls sports. This is wrong on every level. These are not girls, they're boys saying they're a girl. They're playing a false sport, come back and play a girl sport and go back to playing a boy sport. All they have to do is change their paperwork at the district office. I'm not going to support it. I'm never going to lie to a kid. I'm going to support my wife who was a pioneer in Title IX. And every other girl that's come along now expects every adult to do the right thing and protect them. We're not protecting girls now. K through 12 and women's sports. We're allowing men or boys to play in these sports. It's dangerous, it's wrong. We have boys in the locker rooms watching girls go through their get ready for practice or a match or a game. How wrong is that for a girl to have to endure something like that? What we would have called 5 or 6 years ago somebody going to jail is now acceptable in high schools and middle schools.
So shout out to my man right here for doing the right thing and refusing to participate. That's what it's going to take, really, because if people are participating in the sports where you got the men playing against the women, talking about, oh, I'm trans, all this, that, and the third, as long as you participate in it, as long as you entertain it, it'll continue. So shout out to him for doing the right thing. And I was reading some of the comments. I'm not picking on Mexicans. Shout out to the Mexicans. I'm doing Duolingo, so I'm learning Spanish every day. Every day. I got like a 70-something day streak. So I think I am a Spanish speaker now, and I'm trying to learn more words every day. And also, I just happened to be out last night. Yes, I was out of my dungeon, and I'm somewhere, and I'm seeing a table full of Mexicans, and I can't see what they have at their table because I'm not like, I can't, from my angle, I can't really see. But once they get up, everybody had Corona and lime. Like, I'm talking about 15 people all had Corona and lime. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Corona. Shout out to the lime. Shout out to the coquitos, the margaritas, all that. Shout out to you guys. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. What's going on, Anton Daniels? I see you, boss. Thank you for joining the chat, man. I appreciate you. Got good content, man. You over there pumping them out, man. So shout out to you. I'm trying to be like you. All right, J Flow, orale and afuera, all that. I'm gonna put some of these Spanish sayings on my soundboard here because I got my soundboard kind of set up the way I want it. Like I can do some things. Like hold on, can I play or nah? Wait a minute, I can do. Nope. Yeah. I can do some sounds. I'm gonna put some of the other sounds in there. All right, let's go ahead and stop that. But yeah, let's keep on rocking here. We got a lot more. Utah Democrats are wearing all black to mourn the passing of HB 257 and HB 261. The first bans men from girls' bathrooms in schools, and the second bans DEI from public education. All right, now let's see how dramatic these women and a couple of guys in the back are. And check out the way that they're positioned physically, where they're standing. Like, let's check that out.
And that's because we are hurting and we join our communities and most marginalized communities and vulnerable communities through this process as we just came out of the Senate floor that passed HB 257 and HB 261, and they're moving really fast to get to the governor's desk. And that's because we...
Now, look, we got a bunch of women, all black, and then you got the guys in the background. I mean, look, if I'm a male there, I'm really just embarrassed. That's completely emasculating. This was done on purpose. The guys in the back just kind of, look, really, if it's like that, y'all just go out there and do it by yourself. Have all the women, have girl power. Don't have me in the back intentionally like that. It's one thing if they all came to the microphone just kind of together and there was no coordination, but this was obviously coordinated to have all the guys in the back barely visible. You can't even really see him. Look at my man right here. Look at my man right here on the left-hand side. He's kind of like hiding behind the lady in the front. It's crazy. But hey, that right there tells you all you need to know. Who is in favor of, and that is the problem. That's the problem with these things, with the women competing against men or vice versa. That's the problem. It's the women who support it. So we can say as men that it shouldn't be going on, and we're right to say it. Women can as well, but if not enough women come out and say anything about it, then what are you going to do? There's not much you can do. All right. And again, that's the issue there. And to add on to that point, we got our main man, Kevin Bacon. Now, didn't we see Kevin Bacon in a recent movie? What was that with Mahershala Ali and the other lady from the other show? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Obama movie with the automatic Teslas, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Leave the World Behind. There we go. He was in Leave the World Behind. And was Kevin Bacon the one with the weapon at the end? Was that him? Make sure I'm saying the right thing. So, yes, that was him. Oh, okay, wait. wait. Kevin Bacon, what are we doing, boss? What are we doing? You went from playing, well, you know, hey, you're a Hollywood actor. You could do whatever you want. You know, who are these people anyway? We have no idea what's going on, right? They could be whatever they desire to be at any time. So when you're in the movie, you're playing the prepper guy, the conservative guy. You're playing this role right here, right? That's your duty in the movie, Leave the World Behind, right? When they come to your house talking about, hey, can we get some medicine, all this, that, and the third? Nah, get off my property. I'm going to delete you, all this and that. Okay. That is a movie. Of course, it's fake. It's not real. Now here, I guess, is maybe the real Kevin Bacon. Let's check it out.
Drag is an art, and drag is a right. Drag is a centuries-old art form of creativity, expression, and self-exploration. It's an opportunity to educate through entertainment, and it's not dangerous. At 6 Degrees, we believe in amplifying the voices of those that are experiencing injustice. So join us in supporting the ACLU Drag Defense Fund by shopping our bonfire campaign. Drag is an...
So that's, I guess, the real Kevin Bacon defending drag queen story time, that kind of stuff. And if it's not about, because he didn't specifically say in this clip, drag queen story time, but if it's not about that, then why come out and defend it? Nobody has an issue with just drag queens doing things for adults. Okay, look, you're an adult. You want to see a man that's 6'5" with a wig on, parade around, swinging his thing here, there, everywhere. That's your business. If you're an adult, go ahead, knock yourself out. That ain't my cup of tea. That ain't my walk that I'm walking. Okay, I'm not guided by that. I'm not into that type of spirit, right? But if that's you, then go ahead and rock out. But the problem is when you try to bring that adult entertainment to children, why are they so hell-bent on bringing that kind of entertainment to children? You know, I came across something that's very controversial. I'm not quite sure I want to play it. I'm going to play some of it. And don't nobody tell on me. It's between you and I. Can't nobody else know about this. But I saw a pretty disturbing connection between the LGBT and another kind of group that is not one that's very legal. It's not one that is mainstream, or at least it shouldn't be. I think what's happening over the past few years is that they're trying to make this other movement mainstream. Okay. And again, don't nobody tell on me. Look, if they tell, then I'm going to be upset because they might try to flag me. Okay. Are you guys ready? Get prepared to get triggered. And I think you guys pretty much already know what is about to be said to you, but I'm giving you fair warning. All right. Actually, let's check it out. The blacks. No. Actually, no, not at all. Let's watch.
Actually, it seems you're acting like this is a spurious connection. So we're going to play Jeopardy. We're going to play Queer Theory, Pedophilia, Jeopardy.
I told y'all. We're going to play Queer Theory, Pedophilia, Pedo, XYZ, Jeopardy.
Okay, answer. Commonly called the godfather of queer theory.
Who is Foucault?
Who is Foucault?
I got it.
Okay, argued for the eradication of age of consent laws as in down to infants.
Who is Foucault?
The author of the founding document of queer theory.
Who is Gail Rubin?
Who is Gail Rubin? 50%. Question is?
The amount in that article that was a defense of pedophilia, specifically, quote, boy lovers, so men who fuck boys.
Quote, this is in the founding document of queer theory. Like communists and homosexuals in the 1950s, boy lovers are so stigmatized that it is difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties, let alone for their erotic orientation. That's in the founding document of queer theory. Oh, and she also compared, by the way, she compared pedophilia to a preference for spicy food.
I'll leave it right there. We don't got to see the whole thing. We get the picture, don't we? We get the picture, don't we? So when you see things like Drag Queen Storytime, and when you see drag queens performing in front of 5-year-olds, understand where that comes from. What other reason is it? Again, adult entertainment is for adults, not children. I don't care if it's gay, straight, or whatever. And the question is, why is there so much LGBT stuff specifically given to children that should only be for adults? Y'all just let me know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. All right. I'll leave it right there. I don't got to play no more. Y'all get the picture. And don't nobody tell on me, it's not my, all I'm saying is I'm not saying nothing else other than that's information that's out there. Okay. There was no lies told in that particular segment, in that video. There were no lies told. All right. Let's keep on moving here. We got quite a bit to get through. Now, let's get back into politics. And your man right here, I don't know what's going on with him. This is your man up there in the great white north, Justin Trudeau, at a women's hockey game, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Canada, what's going on with your man? Like, what is the deal with this kind of clapping? And you know what? You know what the crazy thing is? We can say how silly he looks, how funny he looks, but somehow he was elected. And how long has he been there in Canada as the president or as the prime minister? Pardon me. He's been there since 2015. 2015. We're now in 2024. So how does that happen? Okay. Apparently they like him up there. Why? That's your man. That is your man. Now, back in the U.S., here is the statue of Thomas Jefferson being removed from New York City Hall after 187 years. Now, remember when they were removing the Confederate monuments and statues back right around the time when Trump got elected the first time? Remember that? And then he said it, I said it, many of you guys said it. We said the next thing will be the Founding Fathers. The next thing will be those on Mount Rushmore. We all saw it coming because, okay, what are you criticizing? What are you criticizing the Founding Fathers for? What are you criticizing the Confederate generals for? What, because of racism, things of this nature? Although slavery only existed in the Confederacy for 3 years, at best, at the most 3 years, maybe a little bit longer. No, actually, 3 years, 4 years, 1861 to 1865. If that's wrong, let me know in the comments. But under the United States from 1776 to 1865. And before that, the Kingdom of Great Britain from the early 1600s to 1776. So, of course, if you're talking about racism, things of this nature, they're going to go all the way back to the Founding Fathers. We're not talking about how every nation on planet Earth had slavery back then. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how we're going to judge them based on today's standards. And then they're going to be removed. That's how it works. So there it is. It's out of here, and that's just what's going on. Okay, no more Thomas Jefferson, no more Founding Fathers, and we've already seen other things happen like this. In DC, at the university named after George Washington, GWU, they removed the bust of George Washington from the university that was named after him. It's like it's crazy, but hey. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, let's skip to Europe right quick and see what they do when you're talking about the protests. You got the farmers protesting. It's in France. I'm not quite sure where it's at. It might be in Paris. I'm not really sure if that's Paris or not, but let's check it out. And RIP to my headphone users in advance. And look at the video up here. That might help. We got sound, but let's get the video. So what's happening is they're spraying manure on a police car, and they also went to the government building and sprayed it on the government building. Now I say shout out to the police. I'm a fan of the police, but if you're gonna have a protest, go to the actual source of the problem. If you had a protest, if you got an issue with the government, go to the government. Spray some manure on the government building if you're going to do that. Now, I'm not saying actually do it, but I'm saying in theory, in a theoretical world that doesn't exist, if you're going to protest, then that'd be the way you go about it. What you don't do is burn up random meemaws, pawpaws houses and furniture stores and loot diapers and toilet paper and liquor and basketball shoes and things of this nature. You don't do that. You go straight to the source of your problem with your problem, rather than just hurting regular everyday normies. So shout out to the farmers out there for taking action in their own way, okay? Not going out there and deleting random innocent people. You spray your manure on the government building and keep it moving like that. So yeah, shout out to the farmers out there over in France. Now we got some migrants over here in, I think it's Spain. Maybe they might be in Spain, in Europe, or they might be over in Ceuta, which is a Spanish enclave, technically in Africa. But let's see what they're talking about. Okay, I think it might be in Italian, or pardon me, in Spanish.
Good. You know, it's good. The food is not good. Not good. But why? I don't know. Está diciendo que la comida no está bien, no le gusta. You don't like food. But why? What? But why?
So these are migrants over there saying that the food sucks. And, you know, it's dry. It's not really for us Africans, man. The food ain't really hitting on nothing. I'm like, my man, how you gonna complain about the free food that you're getting in a hotel or if you're eating anything at all, you're not in your home country. This is the same thing I say to the migrants here. You don't like the accommodations? Well, you feel free to go back over there. Go back that way and get the actual food you want.
Oui, nous voulons une vraie food, c'est-à-dire quelque chose qu'on peut manger nous les Africains.
Quelque chose que tu peux manger comme Africain.
Comme Africain.
Mais ici, là,
peut-être on pouvait manger autre chose sans les choses d'Africains, mais quelque chose qui a notre goût.
Está diciendo que no le está gustando mucho la comida, que prefiere comida que se acerque un poco a la comida africana. Comme quel genre de nourriture? La viande? Como que la carne, le estoy preguntando.
We got all kind of languages going on. Tower of Babel. We got English, we got Spanish, and we got French happening. Probably from a francophone country, probably from Guinea, Conakry, Burkina Faso, one of them over there, West Africa, coming to Europe, trying to get in that way, trying to get in through the back door.
Que esté bien cocinada, ¿no? Ce n'est pas bien préparé.
Non, souvent le riz qu'ils nous donnent, ce n'est pas bien préparé.
El arroz que les dan de vez en cuando no está bien hecho. Le riz, comment c'est dur? Le estoy preguntando si el arroz está duro, c'est dur.
C'est trop sec.
C'est trop sec, que el arroz está muy seco, quiero decir, y no le gusta mucho la comida. Tu vas lo faire comment?
Basically, they're saying that the food's not good, the accommodations aren't good. But the same thing I say over here. It's like, yo, you're over here in our part of the world. You're over here in our country. Like, whatever you got, be glad to get it. Be glad to get it. Because back where you're from, you got starvation happening, actually, in certain parts of the country. If you're from a city area, you might not be that bad. But in certain parts of your country, you got starvation going on. Phil Rooftop says he's not getting enough to eat. Yeah, he's not getting enough to eat because he's not liking the actual food. That's the thing. He says the guy wants African flavor. Yeah, exactly. He's saying that the rice, because I was reading what he was saying, said the rice is dry and it's not good for Africans to eat. That kind of thing. Dry rice, no flavor. Exactly. Yep. Am I translating? I know I can understand some of what they're saying, but I already read what they were talking about before. All right. I can read this right here. It said basically the food is bad. You know, es muy mala, very bad. La comida que nos dan es muy mala. The food is very bad. I don't know what this is right here.
Es lo que hay, le estoy diciendo, c'est ce qu'ils ont, il n'y a pas autre chose, non?
Mais on vit avec, non?
Il faut vivre avec, il n'y a rien d'autre. C'est le moment de la lutte, la hora de luchar. Ici aussi en Espagne, il y a les gens qui mangent mal. Le estoy diciendo que aquí en España también hay gente que come mal. Il y a des gens pauvres ici, hay gente muy pobre aquí, le estoy diciendo. Il y a des gens qui n'ont pas la nourriture ici, donc ce qu'on te donne, lo que te dan ahí dentro, mais si dormir, ce que Dieu... Et chercher la vie, non? C'est ça, non?
C'est ça, oui.
Bueno.
C'est ça.
Non, ça va aller.
So there we have it. We got a French and Spanish going on, basically saying that the accommodations aren't good, the food's not good, it's not enough, it's not the way we eat it, it's dry, we eat it wet, that kind of thing. All right. The food they gave us very, very bad. Okay. Thank you, Jesse Mendez. I appreciate you, boss. Nos Dan, they give us. See, look, I'm learning my Spanish. Look, by this time next year, I'll be over here like Pedro Martinez, straight full Spanish, like a Dominican. That's gonna be my version of Spanish. So shout out to the Dominicans. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. No Sammy Sosa. I'm keeping my skin color and all that good stuff. I'm gonna still be blackity black, but let's move on. Now let's go back to America, talking about what we spend on migrants here. Because over there they're giving them food and shelter and whatnot, but over here we're doing that to the max. To the point where New York City, they're cutting budgets. They're doing all kind of rearranging and finagling, spending billions. I said before on the live stream that they've spent $251 billion on migrants, but the latest number I saw was actually $451 billion and counting US dollars on migrants since June of 22. Since June 22, $450 billion they spent. But it ain't enough. Look, I don't want to start cussing because I don't do that. Let's watch this.
And putting it up in other people's neighborhoods. They building a whole new neighborhood in the Lincoln Yards, in the 78
with tax dollars that you paid. In your community, you walking past boarded up buildings and boarded up and vacant lots and boarded up schools. And you ain't getting out a dime. But the migrants got $1 billion. $1 billion damn dollars. Just in 1 year. And you ain't never seen 2 million walk past your house. I want you to understand that. And yet, white people stormed the Capitol because they lost an election.
Oh man, now you went down the whole wrong way. You went down the whole wrong way, my man. What are you talking about?
And you drinking from lead pipes? Because we got all the black people in Chicago got lead pipes in their house. We got the most lead pipes in the country. Look it up.
And you know what? I said this before. I said this before. You're complaining about the pipes and all this kind of stuff. But look, see, you don't understand. Maybe you do understand. You're kind of vocalizing it, but you're not quite on the mark. You're talking about the capital, things that don't matter. See, what's happening here is your prerogative, your needs, your desires, your want for the community is no longer relevant. You are being placed to the side, not just the blacks, the whites, the Puerto Ricans, the Kenny Stripe, anybody that's not on a high level. If you're not the people that really make the country run, it's like whatever. They're going to bring in a brand new lower class and have them replace you. So all this talking about right now, okay, cool. They're going to fix those things with the pipes and whatnot, and then by the time that's done, you'll be gone somewhere else. You guys in Chicago, you be way out in Des Moines, Iowa somewhere. Y'all be way out in boondocks. Y'all be out there shucking corn before you know it. Ain't gonna be no more Chicago. Forget about it. Forget about the city life. You're going back to shucking corn at best. I said it before. It's like, look, back in Virginia, where I'm from, I'm gonna tell this story one more time. What they did was, when I was growing up in Portsmouth, Virginia, one of the worst places in the state, crime and all of that, what they did when they were tearing projects down, they gave them vouchers to go to other parts of the area. They came to my neighborhood, which was a whole big mess. My neighborhood was relatively quiet. Somebody might get deleted every now and again, but for the most part, it was okay. Low-income houses, apartments, but it was not a project. It was just like a regular spot if you didn't have a lot of money. But anyway, they took the project people to our neighborhood, and overnight, it went from the occasional deletion to now crackheads running like roaches all over the place, acting the fool all hours of the night. But they also sent those project people way out in the middle of nowhere. Smithfield, I'm talking about, if you know about Virginia, I'm talking like 45 minutes away. You'd be driving, because I went out there one time. You'd be driving from Portsmouth to Smithfield, and it's nothing. It's just trees, water, more trees, nothing. Deer. All of a sudden, here comes this project, a ghetto in the smack dab middle of nowhere. They're going to do that to you. Ain't going to be no more city access. You'll be over there just trying to survive on whatever they give you, whatever kind of scraps they give you. So it is what it is, man. And people keep voting the same way and having the same mentality. You said it right there. Oh, well, whites stormed the Capitol. See, that kind of mentality is why whatever you're complaining about, if you're suffering from that, you will continue because your mind's not in the right place. You're not understanding what's happening to you, and you'll keep on voting the same way, so it'll keep happening to you. It's like this. If you are in one of those escape rooms you can't escape from in the Saw movies, okay, the saw blade is right on top of your wrist, and it's about to slice your hand clean, smooth off. I'm talking about just boom, like a sausage link and a regular Ginsu knife. Just boom. Your whole arm is just going to be done. Donezo. Clean cut. Surgical. All you got to do is just vote differently. Say, yes, I'm going to vote for a different party. You refuse to do it, although the option is clear, your hand gets chopped off, and you cry about it. Whose fault is that at a certain point? Oh, well, I shouldn't have had my arm chopped off. Wrong mentality. But anyway, let's keep on rocking here. We got a caravan coming. This is a caravan kind of recently, this month.
First caravan of the year 2024. Today, around 5 o'clock in the morning, migrants started walking from the south border of Tapachula again, heading north of the state of Chiapas. Around 1,500 migrants started walking today from the south border, demanding to the authorities so they can give them the multiple migration form or the visa of transit so they can move forward into the northern borders to the United States of America. Around 1,500 migrants that they are speculating the entities are from Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Venezuela, and Haiti.
You got all the Central American countries and also Haiti. It was so hilarious. I cannot get over when this started to happen and people were finding out about it, talking about Haitians. How did the Haitians get here? Completely, people have no idea what's happening in their own country or at their own border. They have no clue what's going on.
The migrants are still walking on the coast of the highway, heading north to the state of Chiapas, waiting for the authorities of Mexico to see if they can get the multiple migration form so they can get out of the south border state.
Migrants no es crimen. The migrants are not criminals. Is that what it is? They got a sign right here.
Mexico.
Criminal government. Criminals are the government who represent us. Oh, okay. So this sign says migrants are not criminals. Criminals are the governments who represent us or represent migrants.
I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News.
Now, is that what that sign says? Can you see it right there? And shout out to Oscar Blue. Shout out to him for Real America's Voice. I'm using this clip right here. You guys, please follow him on the Twitters. Follow him wherever you can. Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are. Please follow him. They reached out to me and, gave me some heads up about what he has going on. Y'all, please, please, please follow him for up to the minute border content.
Stay safe.
And what can they do? You got the authorities right here just watching them come in. Un perro just chilling. And this is going to be every day, all the time. Just walking across, coming across, because the border's wide open. And I was told that the border's not open. If that's not the case, I can't tell. I cannot tell. Devin says, reprimand migrants. I'm reading to make sure I got the right content. No migrants in my country. Yeah. No migrants in my county either. That's what I'm on the same page with you right there, boss, for sure. Are they counting heads? Is that what's going on? You're gonna be counting heads all night. I mean, if you're not gonna actually do anything to stop them, what's the point of being right there? Set up your camera and you could just watch them that way. And you can just count the heads on the camera later. If you're not going to do anything, why even be right there? It makes no sense. I mean, you could bring in drugs, guns, whatever. It's fine. Darryl says the dog is begging for them to do something. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Begging them to do something. All right, let's keep on rocking here. We got some more. Oh, here we go with Kamala. Let's see what she said. Let's see what our borders has to say about what's happening with the world.
November of 2024, binary. And on the other side, you've got someone who has said that if he were back in office, he would weaponize the Department of Justice. Someone who has openly applauded insurrectionists as patriots. Someone who has said that they will go after their political enemies. And applauds dictators, indicating that he would be one. So let's be really clear about what's at stake. And then, yes, of course, there is then a desire that let's get out there because we can't lose this democracy.
Okay, now, do you guys know what she said? I feel like I can hear I feel like I have a better time reading Spanish that I don't know that well than listening to her speak perfect English and deciphering what she actually said. What did she say right there? You guys let me know, what was the substance of that? These politicians, man, I mean, when you're a politician, I understand you're trained to kind of say things that can be interpreted different ways. So you can say, well, I didn't really say that. But this was just a bunch of nothing. You guys let me know what's going on with that. Is she drunk? Man, I don't know what's happening. She might just be incompetent. I mean, you don't got to be drunk to be incompetent. They're not mutually exclusive. Is she on crack? Say she on pills. So we got some that say she might be drinking. Some that say it might be pills, and some say that's cocaine. It might be all the above. I can't tell. Speaking about politicians who don't make sense when they speak, let's talk about your man. Old man Joe, Creepy Joe.
Folks, if I were smart, I'd say thank you and leave. Folks,
if I was smart, I would say thank you and leave. So basically, it's like, look, man, if I was just using my brain, if I was like doing the right thing, I would just say thanks and leave and not actually say anything else, because whatever I say is going to be a bunch of malarkey, as he would say.
If I were smart, I'd say thank you and leave.
So there you go. That's your man, Joe. I think we got some more from Joe. Here's a meme that they made of him. And the caption says, when you're 13 beers deep asking for another one.
The beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. The beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes.
I mean, this is your president and vice president for real? Is that who we have in office? That's the best we can do out of the whole country? That's the best we can do? This blithering idiot and the other blithering idiot? Thing one, thing two, dumb and dumber freaking frack? Tweedledee, Tweedledum? Is that who we have in office right now? I mean, my goodness. My goodness. Now, let's go back to 2007 when Biden was asked about sanctuary cities.
Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen.
So basically, he would not support cities identifying their sanctuary cities. This is 2007. Okay, 2007, and now, obviously, 2024, things are much different, obviously.
And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws.
Somebody said, who's that? See, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Shout out to you, boss.
This administration has been fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing law.
So, Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay.
So, yeah, it sounds much different back then in 2007, and he was also against sanctuary cities. Funny how that works. Funny how things change depending upon the circumstance. You know, I wonder what changed from then to now. Maybe he got different orders, started marching orders. Okay, well, we need to get these people in here. We need to have this cheap labor, the new slaves. So now we're going to have the border be wide open, and you're going to be the one to usher it in. So that's what you're going to do. If people remember you from back in 2007, when you said you were not going to allow cities to be sanctuary cities, don't worry about them. A lot of them are old. They might be gone by now. Don't even worry about it. Just go out there and do what we tell you. You're 1,000 years old anyway. Might not even be the same person. But let's check out your man Barack Obama in 2005 and see what he said. The caption here says, Barack Obama in 2005, we all agree on the need to better secure the border. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting lawfully. Again, this is your senator from Illinois, Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, in 2005. Check it out.
We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants.
So not only are we going to secure the border, but if you hire illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, then we're going to punish you.
We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully to become immigrants in this country. We all agree.
Very interesting, Mr. Barack Obama. 2005 Obama is much different. 2005 Obama sounds like a right-wing nut job, a conspiracy theorist, a MAGA, a Trump supporter, a deplorable. That's who he sounded like in 2005. What changed, Mr. Obama? What changed between 2005 and 2024? What changed between 2007, Mr. Joe Biden, and 2024? What changed between 2005 and 2008 when you got elected? Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out here. And we're going to keep on rocking here. So now we get to the whole thing with Texas. That's going on. Do you guys think there's going to be a conflict? Will it be a conflict down in Texas? And before I get to that, this is a good super chat right here. Thank you to Martin Santiago, who says, Meanwhile, my fiance just got denied for her visa. LOL. About to tell her to just cross the border. Oh, and yes, hashtag passport bro all the way. Nice Philippine girl that appreciates and is A1. God bless ABL. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the Filipinos. Love the Filipinos. Great people. And shout out to you, man. Hey, this whole thing with the immigration right now is a joke. People don't even want to go through the legal process. It's just say, I'm going to just come across illegally. Because why am I getting denied? What's going on? You got lawful people that are being turned into unlawful people because of the way that the system is going right now. The legal immigration is kind of being put to the back burner in favor of the illegal immigration, so-called asylum seekers, things of this nature. They're going to try to make them be the new dreamers. And I'm not a fan of it at all. But do you guys think there's going to be a conflict? Because understand what's happening here. And before I continue, I'm not trying to say that I advocate anyone going down to the border. I'm like your man, Tim Pool. Don't go down to the border. Don't say that ABL said go down to the border and engage in any kind of conflict. No. Let's let the Texas government handle it, and let's be supportive in any way that we can. If they need finances, whatever, but don't go with a pistol talking about, I'm going to fight the border, because that's going to be a J6 type situation. So don't do it. Let the military out there do what they got to do their job, support them in any way you can. But anyway, so the feds are saying, hey, we need access to this park right here in Eagle Pass. We need access to the border without the concertina wire, the razor wire being right there. So we are given the green light to cut the wire by the Supreme Court, at least for now, while there's still a lawsuit happening between the feds and Texas's government. Now, the temporary, I guess you would say, ruling from the Supreme Court does not say that Texas cannot install the razor wire. They can do what they want to do to protect their state under their constitution in Texas. They have their laws, their state laws in Texas. But the feds are saying, you guys doing that, you're interfering with our responsibility, which is the border. The border is a federal jurisdiction. So they have the responsibility to control it, to protect it. What the feds are doing, rather than actually keeping the border secure, is allowing it to be open. And then when the migrants come to the tens of thousands per day, they're getting processed as asylum seekers and sent into the interior of the country with a court date years in the future. And of course, most people, 90% of them, will not show up for the court date, and they'll just be in the country illegally. That's what's going on right now at the border. And Texas is like, look, we can't sustain this. This is damaging our country. It's costing us billions of dollars. We got to put an end to it. And Texas is bearing the brunt of it because the feds are not really helping them with where to place these people. They're just processing them in, and Texas is responsible for whatever happens next. Are they going to just sit right there in Eagle Pass? Are they just going to sit right there in El Paso? What's going to happen? So Texas is saying, okay, you guys want to have the border wide open? We're going to send them to Chicago, New York, etc. And then those mayors are getting upset. You got your main man from Chicago allegedly having panic attacks. My man, panic attacks? Really? Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, panic attacks? Look, if you are having panic attacks, I'm not trying to shame anybody with any kind of mental health issues, panic attacks or whatever. Don't get it confused. But if you're having panic attacks as a mayor because it's too stressful and you just got there yesterday, essentially, this might not be the job for you. You might want to go ahead and step down. I don't know about y'all, but if I had a job and I'm having panic attacks as a result of my job, I might want something a little bit less strenuous. You know, because at one point I wanted to be a firefighter, right? And I still would have if my YouTube didn't just blow up the way it did. This is back in like 2014, 2015. And my dad was a firefighter. Obviously, he was a recruiter. So he will always tell people and tell me the same thing about being a firefighter. He was like, look, you might see some things that could cause you to hyperventilate. You might see somebody that's been deceased. You might see, you know, people that have been injured really badly, an accident or a fire or whatever it be. You got to calm down. You got to breathe. You got to just be able to handle seeing stuff like that. And if you can't handle it, then don't put yourself through that stress. You're a firefighter already. You're going to have heart issues because you're at the station sleep. And when the alarm goes off, you're going from 0 to 100, putting on gear, doing all that. And then if you're going to get to a scene and somebody's burnt up and you can't handle it, well, look, that's not for you. It's going to cause you physical stress and it's going to break down your actual health. Same thing with the Chicago mayor, my man. You're going to have those 2 o'clock in the morning emergency meetings. You're going to have migrants coming in with nowhere to put them. It's cold. It's 5 degrees outside. It's polar vortex. You got the wind from that lake. It hits you like a ton of bricks. You got to deal with these things. And if you're not prepared for that, then go do something else. Go be a school teacher. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a little bit less stress depending upon where you are, because some of these schools is like a war zone, but it's a little bit less stress than being the mayor of Chicago, Illinois, one of the top major cities in the United States. But I digress. Let's get back to Texas. Let's see what Ted Cruz says about Texas and the governor defying the federales by placing up more concertina wire and securing the border because the feds aren't doing it. Let's check it out. And let's get on the screen. There we go.
Joe Biden deliberately has caused this invasion of Texas and the United States. 9.6 million illegal immigrants. I'm proud of our governor. I'm proud of our legislature. We're defending Texas and defending this country. And Joe Biden is suing Texas, trying to stop us. Joe Biden deliberately has caused this invasion of Texas and the United States. 9.6 million illegal immigrants. I'm proud of our governor. I'm proud of our legislature. We're defending Texas and defending this country. And Joe Biden is suing Texas, trying to stop us.
And you know what the lawsuit is about. The lawsuit is because they want the border to be open because they want the people. They want to make them citizens. They want them to be the new slaves. They want the cheap labor. That's what they want. That's what they want. And I've said it before on the channel. People say that the so-called migrants, whatever, they do jobs that Americans don't want to do. Not necessarily. The problem with the migrants doing a lot of these jobs is that they do it for very cheap. Okay, a lot of the migrants you see, the non-English speakers are going to be working construction, right? But do you want to frame houses in 20-degree weather for $10 an hour? Do you want to frame houses in 20-degree weather for $10 an hour? Is that what you want to do? And in some parts of the country, even if you want to frame houses for $10 an hour, if you don't speak Spanish, if you're not Mexican, if you're not some other kind of Central American, Guatemalan or something like that, forget about it. You're not even going to get in there. I was watching one video of a black guy in Texas talking about he is an educated person in construction, meaning he's not just a guy that's swinging hammers. He's a guy that can actually operate machinery. He can read blueprints. He's a skilled person in construction. And he's saying that on a lot of these sites, if you don't speak Spanish, if your last name ain't Martinez or something, you're going to be outside of wherever they are holding the sign up. You're not going to be actually on the construction site building anything. And that's kind of how it is. So people got to understand the reality of what they say rather than just making the blanket statement, understand the reality behind the whole situation. Now, what they want to do in Texas, meaning the federales, what they might want to do is federalize the National Guard. Now, the National Guard is U.S. military, but when they're in Texas, they are operating in the interest of Texas. And the feds may want to federalize them to have them acquiesce to the will of the federal government and not the will of Texas, which is going to be a very big problem. And there's certain rules against this because really what they're doing is trying to intervene in the civil matter, I suppose, because there's a lawsuit going on now, as far as I know. Is that not a civil matter? So you want to have the military become federalized to intervene on the civil matter? That's something you really shouldn't be doing. There's rules against that. There's laws against that. But let's see what Karine Jean-Pierre says about the whole situation, about the whole kerfuffle.
Homeland Security Department has asked for access to this park that is now currently in dispute. It doesn't seem like they've gotten it. They now are allowed to cut down razor wire.
Yeah.
Some Democrats are saying the president needs to federalize the Texas National Guard.
So look,
is that something that could happen?
I mean, look, I'll say this. The Border Patrol agents are now, as you said, allowed to cut through the wire because of what the Supreme Court has laid out. It's unfortunate that we had to go there. It's unfortunate that there is a governor in Texas, Governor Abbott, who has politicized this issue of what's happening on the border. And it's not making people's lives safer. It's actually making it harder for law enforcement at the border to do their job. And so we have been very clear. We want to make sure we get something done at the border. That's why we've been having these conversations with Senate Republicans and Democrats for the past several weeks to come up with a bipartisan agreement to deal with the border. And look, if the governor is not interested in that. Governor Abbott is not interested in that. He wants to politicize an issue, and he's not helping communities. He actually isn't. And he's actually putting Border Patrol agents in harm's way by doing what he's doing. I'm not going to speak to any actions that the president might take, may not take, but we have been very clear on this.
Economy.
So there you have it. That's Karine Jean-Pierre. Now, what Karine Jean-Pierre should do is tell her cousins in Haiti to stop coming, and then tell them to tell the other migrants at the border from all over Central America to stop coming. And she should tell her president to close the border up, and then there'd be no need to try and federalize the National Guard because there'd be no issue to actually deal with. It's just that simple. But that's not what's happening. That's not what she's doing. So here we are. Now, this is what we got going on. So shout out to Karine Jean-Pierre, sock out Fet Live, sock out Faye, all that good stuff. I mean, but yeah, I'm not really feeling that answer right there. Let's keep on going. And we got Greg Abbott on Tucker's show. I'm not going to play the entire thing. This is on Tucker's Twitter page. You guys, please follow him, Tucker Carlson, on Twitter, delivering some really good information, really good interviews on his channel. Check it out.
On Monday, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that the Biden administration is legally allowed to open the border by force to cut down razor wire along the Rio Grande sector of the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas. The usual suspects voted for this: Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Ketanji Brown Jackson, but they were joined by so-called conservative justices John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett. So in response to this ruling, which shocked many, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, drafted a letter, not simply to the administration, but to the world. And here's part of what it says. Under President Biden's lawless border policies, more than 6 million illegal immigrants have crossed our southern border in just 3 years. That is more than the population of 33 different states in this country. This illegal refusal to protect the states.
Let's pause. Do you think the number is higher or lower than 6 million? 6 million have crossed the border in 3 years. Is that number higher or lower in your opinion? Let me know.
Has inflicted unprecedented harm on the people all across the United States. Abbott goes on to say the state of Texas has the authority under the Constitution to, quote, protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land, and it supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. And then, following very quickly, 25 other states with Republican governors signed a letter pledging their support to Texas and its constitutional right to defend itself.
Now, this has been the pretty big thing here. The 25 states that have signed basically a pledge of allegiance with Texas in their attempt to crack down on the border. So what states do we have? We have Alaska, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and New Hampshire. All these states and their governors have signed off and said that we pledge allegiance with Texas. And I think we should have more states that join. Andy Beshear is a governor in Kentucky, a Democrat, so he doesn't want to do that. Virginia, we got Glenn Youngkin. That's a pretty big stance for Glenn Youngkin to take in Virginia, which is kind of a purple state at best. So shout out to all these governors for doing what's right.
And this country. Those states include Ohio, Florida, Utah, Nevada, and many others. And then the Biden administration responded. The administration threatened these states, and particularly Texas, with a, quote, 24-hour deadline to allow Border Patrol to reopen the border and to take down the barbed wire. Clearly a collision course. What happens next? We're thankful to be joined now by Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, who joins us by phone from India. Governor Abbott, thank you so much for joining us. If the administration declares that it plans to federalize the National Guard of the state of Texas, your National Guard, what will be your response?
Well, first, I'll be shocked. That would be a boneheaded move on his part, a total disaster. But for one, as you might imagine, we are prepared in the event that that unlikely event does occur to make sure that we will be able to continue exactly what we've been doing over the past month, and that is building these barriers, whether it be the concertina wire or other anti-crime border barriers, whatever we've been building. The Biden administration is now trying to attack us because of it, and we will continue to do exactly what we're doing to expand our denial of illegal entry into the state of Texas.
So what do you think will be the actual result? I won't play the entire thing, as I said. What's going to be the result? I mean, you got all this stuff going on, and these people, they keep coming. It's not just one scene from a day where it was a lot of people. This is every day, every single day. So what can you actually do? If they can't have the wire, then what? Okay, let's get a wall, let's get wire, let's do something. They had the buoys in the water with the razor on it. They got the razor wire, you got the container cars, wall, whatever. The ultimate thing here is that the administration in D.C. are refusing to enforce any kind of border laws. So what do? All right, but now let's talk about Kari Lake and the whole robbery situation. Matter of fact, I think I covered that last time. I sure did cover that last time. Oh, now I kind of want to talk about this. I want to talk about Kari Lake, but not really. You see, I'm going to play a little bit of this video because she went on with Megyn Kelly. Now, Megyn Kelly, something's going on with Megyn Kelly. I can't put my finger on it. I'm going to play a little bit of this, and I want you to look at her face. Megyn Kelly, that is.
Kari Lake joins me now. Kari, so good to have you on again. This is unbelievable.
Every time I hear it, it's shocking, and I've heard it several times, and it just, I feel like the blood drains out of my body every time I hear it.
I mean, just so the audience knows, to kick it off, you are running. You did not pull yourself out of any race, and you're doing very well for right now, trying to get the primary win so you can run as the Republican candidate out.
Now, there's more to this. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but I wanted you to first see that Kari Lake is doing the rounds about the whole thing that happened with the Arizona GOP chair. If you guys didn't see me last time talking about this or the video, basically what happened was Kari Lake had recorded the now former Arizona GOP chair, Jeff DeWitt, relaying a message to her about, hey, you know what? You should go ahead and drop out and be gone for about 2 years. And if you do that, there might be something in it for you. It might be a bag of money. You could go get a job, where you don't really show up, talking head, whatever you want to do. You could do that because some guys back east, they have requested this happen, though the powers that be. Now, he didn't say who the powers that be are. He didn't say who they were. And she probably knows, speaking about Carrie Lake, but she didn't say anything either. But do you guys see Megyn Kelly's face? Am I the only one? What's happening right here with her face? You see that? Now, this is a trend in Hollywood that might be going on called the buccal fat removal. Now, if somebody has, like, people naturally have fat deposits in their cheek a lot of time. I have kind of pronounced, features because I'm black. That's just genetics. You can see my cheek pretty well, but you can't see that in everybody. And I think that she's got that right here, but I think that's unnatural. I'm gonna kind of explain to you what I mean a little bit more. Can I do that right quick, please? Now, this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is not Megyn Kelly, obviously, but this is kind of what happens in Hollywood. A lot of these celebrities, you may see people that are on television, people are in movies, they do this kind of thing to their face, okay? Where you have a more naturally round face, and then you have this that happens where they take out the fat in their cheek to make it be a little bit more gaunt and to pronounce their cheekbones, right? I have that a little bit naturally just because that's just my genetics, but not everybody has it. And then there's also a chin implant right here. Do you guys think that she did that? Am I tripping? Is it just me? Is it just me, or did she do that to herself? I think that she did that. Now, I understand Megyn Kelly. She's on television. You see her face all the time. It's in 4K. That's what she does. That's her moneymaker, is her face. So I get it if she did it. But I think that did happen. And this kind of surgery to me looks kind of strange. It looks kind of weird. She also said that she had some complications from C19. Either it was the VAX or just straight up having the illness. But having C19 or VAX complications does not remove your buccal fat from your face. That's not what happens at all. Okay? Fat pad removal. Yeah, definitely. You guys saying 2011 looks better? Nah, it's not Ozempic. Ozempic don't do that. Ozempic, you can lose weight on Ozempic, but Ozempic does not remove your buccal fat. Because look, this picture right here, there's probably not much of a difference in her actual body weight. Maybe a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit more of her neck. Maybe she lost 5 pounds, but that won't make that happen on her face. That's a specific surgery that happens to your face. That's cosmetic surgery. That's not weight loss. So what do you guys think? Is it that she had some work done? Did she get the fat removed from her face? Something's going on, but that might be a little bit unrelated. But I did see that it kind of stuck out to me. I was watching some stuff and I'm like, am I tripping? Like, what's going on? But anyway, yeah. And I hope that people, regular normies, don't go out there and do that, because one thing I saw with this whole Ozempic craze from celebrities is normies going out there doing it, and now they on the toilet crying because they can't have a bowel movement because Ozempic then messed them up. So please, 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 normies, you and I, family, don't go out there and get these celebrity cosmetic procedures. Okay, don't do it to yourself. It's not worth it. You got a life to live that's worth more than trying to look like a celebrity. All right, let's just not do it. All right. Yeah, and then the lip fillers, that's something else people do. Lip fillers look gross. Like, your face has got to be proportionate. My face is proportionate to have the cheek, lip, nose, all of that. If I had like a little small nose, what they call a Caucasian nose, I'm not saying a racist thing. I was watching a face surgery guy, and he was saying that you got ethnic nose, Caucasian nose. It's different. If I had a thinner nose, it wouldn't go with the rest of my face. Everything's got to go together. It's like when you had the BBLs, right? They got these little legs, okay, chapstick, little legs, and then here go the butt right there. Little legs, and then the butt on top. It doesn't look right. It's like, what's going on here? This is a bug's life at best. But anyway, here's a normie talking about her plastic surgery procedures, and then I promise I'll move on. I promise I'll move on after this. Okay, let's watch.
2023 and how much they cost. Botox twice a year. I got it in my 11s, my frontalis, and my crows.
Now, this person said she spent $1,000 on Botox. This is a regular normie. I suppose. This could be a celebrity, but I don't think so.
11s, my frontalis, and my crow's. Botox done in my masseters, as well as a lip flip twice a year. Trap Botox, which helps so much.
Trap Botox? You're getting Botox put in your shoulders? Is that what we're doing? Is that how we rock in 2024?
And I've been getting that done twice a year as well. Now let's start with injectables. I get about 1 syringe a year in my lips just to maintain the shape. I get Volbella in my lips, and like I said, I get it done once a year. Now let's move on to Sculptra. Instead of doing a little bit more cheek filler, because I wanted a nice pop, I actually started dabbling with Sculptra. So I did 2 vials of Sculptra. Moving on to my vampire facials. I do vampire facials 3 to 4 times a year. I believe I did it 4 times this 2023.
Yeah, don't do this. Please, 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 please don't do this. If you got young people watching, young girls out here, man, don't do this, man. Keep your regular face. Keep your regular face. Speaking about keeping your regular face, E. Jean Carroll, her face, what's going on with that? I have no idea. But this is back in 2022. Let's watch some of this. And remember, E. Jean Carroll sued Donald Trump in court for defamation, and she was awarded $83.3 million. $83.3 million US dollars. 83,300,000. Well, $83,300,000. So let's watch this.
Really important in all of this, and it's the fact that New York passed this law. Yeah. The Adult Survivors Act. They passed it just a few years ago. Were it not for that law, you never would have been able to bring this case. And I just think it speaks to the importance for a lot of other survivors.
Exactly. I would never have this window, this year of having the ability to bring a lawsuit for rape. Robbie can explain it better.
Well, E. Jean actually helped to get that law passed. It passed.
Did you hear that? So E. Jean Carroll, who sued Trump and won so far, she was awarded $83.3 million. She is partly responsible for getting the law passed. How does that work? So you have a personal interest in that, a big financial interest in getting the law passed. Is that how we do in this country? When we can benefit financially from legislation, we get it passed? Wow.
Last year, we filed, it was Thanksgiving Day, was the first day you could sue. We filed just after midnight on Thanksgiving. And
very interesting. So there's E. Jean Carroll. And it's crazy because normies have no idea what's going on. They're talking about, oh, Trump got found guilty of assaulting this lady. No, he didn't. Being found liable of a thing is not the same thing as being found guilty. But again, when you're dealing with normies, it's how they think. They don't understand. And the politicians understand that normies don't understand. They think you're stupid. And in many cases, not you guys are brilliant. But in many cases, those who are not plugged in don't know any better. It's not even about being stupid. It's about being ignorant. You don't have the information. So when you hear something like he got found guilty and you heard, or he got found liable, he lost a court case over sexual assault, the normie mind, without having the proper information, cannot connect the dots. So they think that being found liable is the same thing as being found guilty, like he actually assaulted her, and they have evidence to prove it, although they don't. Because if they did, then that'd be a criminal case, but it wasn't. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, Ben Shapiro. Have you heard Ben Shapiro's new rap song? Can I just say something right quick? Ben Shapiro. Now, Ben Shapiro has gone on record many times to say that rap sucks. Rap is not real music. It sucks. It's bad. It's trash. All the above. And he has the right to his opinion. Now, Ben Shapiro has a rap song with Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald has been very popular rapper. A lot of politically driven, motivated music. Do you guys think Ben Shapiro is hypocritical for having the rap song and promoting the rap song? And I'm sure he's getting paid. Listen, do you guys think that Ben Shapiro, a lawyer, one of the people, is going to get on the rap song with Tom McDonald that's being sold, that got streams, that's on the charts, and he doesn't get paid? If you think that, listen, I got a bridge in Brooklyn with your name on it. I'm Realtor ABL. Look, I'm Uncle ABL, and I'm also Realtor ABL. I put on the Realtor pen right here. There go my pen right here. I'm a Realtor right now, and I will sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. I will sell you a lake in the center of the Death Valley. I will sell you all the lake water in Chicago. I will tell you the win in Chicago right now. If you believe that he'll hop on a track with Tom McDonald that's on the charts and he doesn't get paid. And the reason why I say that is because when you're talking about any kind of rap or whatever, any kind of music, you do it for one or two reasons or both. For fun, as a hobby, just to do it because you just want to do it, or to get paid, or both. Now, in the song, Ben Shapiro said, I'm just doing it for fun. Same as anybody else. And you're going to get money. So how is it any different? If you say rap sucks, yet you're doing it for the same reason that other guys would do it, I don't understand how you square that. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe you might want to change your mind the same way you changed your mind on the vax, because remember, he was pro-vax until he wasn't. You could change your mind and that's fine. But what I want to have somebody do is acknowledge that they changed their mind rather than just outwardly being hypocritical and not really squaring that together. Is it just me or what? It's political rap. It's all kind of rap out there. It's all kind of rap. Listen, it's not just one kind of rap. Rap is so, look, you have gospel rap, you have political rap, you have gangster rap, you have nerd rap, you have scary rap. You got all kind of rap, the same as any other kind of music. Okay, you have rock, jazz, classical, just folk, what they call it, cultural from different countries. You got all kind of music that exists. There's all kind of forms of all kind of music. Okay, you got some of that Islamic stuff, some of the more happy songs, the Daesh Nasheeds, the ISIS music. You got all that kind of stuff going on. So what's the difference? That's what I want to know. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of this, and I know that it's music. I'll play about 2 seconds. And I'm going to play Ben Shapiro's verse a little bit, if I can. Sorry, hey, I apologize. RIP headphone users. And RIP to everybody's going to get cringe right now. Let me find it on YouTube right quick, because I know I can't really seek very well on, I can't seek very well on the Twitters. So now, so far, this has 3.8 million views, number 2 trending in music on YouTube, and it was just put out yesterday. Okay, let's go to Ben's verse. I don't care if there's no one. Okay, hold on. I guess it's if I can find it. I don't care who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. Okay, here we go. Here's Ben's verse. Whap, dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You going. So that's a little bit of it right there, but I know I can't play the entire thing. So you see the visuals. They got him like doing deadpan on his show, and then they got him in the hoodie, and he's selling merchandise. It's like, Ben, what are you doing? Listen, you're selling merch. You promoting your show. You getting paid. It's the same reason anybody would rap. So you understand what rap is for now. You could criticize it all you want to, but then you want to come and capitalize off it. I mean, and I'm not even saying it's a bad song or whatever, but look, you can't make this while at the same time talking about how much it sucks. You can't say rap sucks. Now here's my rap song. Go buy it and give me some money. I'll promote my merch. I'll promote my show. No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And again, I'm not trying to say it's a bad song. Don't get it twisted. I like Tom McDonald a lot. So whatever he's doing, typically it's going to be pretty good. And Ben wants to hop on there. Okay, cool. Now, look, check it out, Ben. Now you're a rapper. You are a rapper. I don't want to hear rappers say that rap sucks. Because if rap sucks, then don't get paid from it when you put out a rap song. How about that? I don't want to hear it. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. Now, extra ill. Why am I hating on Ben Shapiro? You tell me why I'm hating on him. Was my argument not cogent? You think I'm an anti-Semite? Look, you know what? Can I be 100% real? Black folks don't see Jews as not white. We see them as white people. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Y'all see them as non-whites. We don't. So I don't really see him as anything else other than a regular white guy. He's an ethnic white guy to me. I don't look at the race of people. I judge you based on your actions. So not only do I not see him as different, I don't judge him on a difference, and I don't see him as some kind of bad person because he's white or whatever. I judge him based on this right here. What I'm going to say, I got a lot of Jewish friends. I sure do. White, Jewish, I don't care what you are. I don't care what kind of ethnic group you are. I don't care what kind of ethnic group you are. If you do something that's hypocritical, I'm going to call you out. If you black, if you white, Puerto Rican, look, ain't that my whole thing I always say? Look, can we recite it? I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. I don't care. You Jewish, okay, cool. You're white too, Jewish, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't really care. You want to create a new race? You want to go from black, white, Asian, and then Jewish? Okay, cool. We can just roll with that. You guys came from Kiev, Ukraine, the same as Vladimir Putin, but somehow you're not white. All right, that's fine. And when we go to Ethiopia and you got them Jews over there, they're not the same ones that everybody keeps talking about that quote unquote control everything. Now, is it? You're talking about the white man. The Jays are the white man's white man. I said it before. I'm getting triggered. My point is, I don't like being called an anti-Semite because I don't even see them as anything different other than just a different group of white people. Okay, you got Irish, Italian, Jewish. It's the same thing. Am I going to get called anti-Italian or anti-Irish or anti-Scottish or anti-English or anti-Russian or anti-Ukrainian or anti-Belarusian or what else? Anti-whatever kind of European country? Anti-German? Is there a word for that? Anyway, I digress. Yeah, you know what? Tony says when you rap positive, it's different. There's all kind of positive music. Ben did not say in his critique of rap that gangster rap music is not music. He said rap is not music. He said it's just speaking over a beat. Okay, cool. You want to keep criticizing it. You want to bring on Zuby, a rapper, and tell him to his face that rap sucks and it's not real. But then a year later, you put out a rap song and tell everybody to download it. What? Really? Is that what we're going to do? For real? It's crazy. Hey, you know what? Drag queen story time sucks, but then tomorrow I'm going to put on the drag outfit and go dance. Oh, no, but it's different because you're not in front of the kids. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That's dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. that's so dumb. But shout out to him, though. Shout out. Congrats on Ben having a chart-topping song. Now you're a rapper, and that's fine. That's totally fine, but that's what you are now. You put out one rap song, you're a rapper. If it charts, especially, oh yeah. It's like being an NBA player. You play one game, you are a former NBA player. That's your title now. But anyway, shout out to Ben, shout out to Tom McDonald. The song is not bad. If you guys want to check it out, it's on YouTube. What is it called? It's called Facts. Ain't that what he say? Facts over feelings. So yeah, rap sucks, but I'm going to put out a song with Tom McDonald, an established rapper, and make money on it, have it chart. I'm going to call it Facts after my slogan, Facts, don't care about your feelings. I'm going to wear my merch that says Facts in the video. I'll promote my show in the video. Come on, man. Anyway. Exactly. Carl says, we're hating on Shapiro because he's cringe. Exactly. And speaking about black, white, all these different races, shout out to the baristas out there in St. Louis who stopped an armed robbery. Now, what you have on the left is the barista who was attacked inside of the Starbucks. He is a young man going to school to become a paramedic, and he's working at Starbucks at the same time while he's in school, which is the right thing to do. Get you an entry-level job, go to school for a specific trade. When you graduate, now you're in that trade, now you're working, start a family. You're doing the right thing, young man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You're not like these guys over here, freaking frack, Dumb and Dumber, Thing 1, Thing 2. You're not like these guys over here who tried to rob you with an allegedly fake gun. Now, my man right here, the white guy with Mount Kilauea on his head, okay, this big knot right here with the volcano crater on top, the lava coming from the crater because he got beat in his head. This guy pistol whipped him because he was taking too long with the money. Let me explain what happened. So it's 12 noon. These two guys on the right-hand side, the black guy, white guy, probably the crackhead combination of the year. 12 noon, they go into this Starbucks location armed and tell everyone to get down on the ground. Customers, workers, everybody get on the ground. They go to my man right here who was behind the counter and tell him to empty register. He can't open it because he does not have credentials. He's trying to open it, but he can't. He asked the manager who's on the ground, because that's what he got told to do by the robbers to get on the ground. He asked the manager to come to the register to open it, but the manager couldn't get up, didn't want to get up because he just got told to get on the ground by the robbers, so he didn't do it. Now, the guy over here who got beat in his head becomes impatient and pistol whips him. But the young man's coworker noticed as he was on the ground that the gun had broken. A piece of the gun had broken off. So that was a signal to him that it was a fake gun, meaning these guys weren't really armed. So the coworker gets up. With his help, they beat him up, subdue him, and his friend runs away. The police come arrest him, and then they find this guy a short distance after that. Now, you would think this would be a great thing. They really saved the day. They subdued the robber. The other guy got caught. The police came, shook his hand. Great job, young man. You did the right thing. And shout out to your friend, too. Great job, young man. You guys did the right thing. Starbucks baristas getting active. Starbucks baristas getting active. But then a few weeks later, or a few days later, after the media died down locally in St. Louis, they were told that they had been fired by Starbucks for violating company policy. And policy is when you're getting robbed to de-escalate and to not intervene with the robbery. But they didn't do anything wrong because he was trying to open the register. He was not resisting. They came in with the guns. Everybody got down. You're complying. He goes to the register, tries to open it. He can't open it because he doesn't have the credentials. It won't open. He gets hit in the head with the gun. Now we went from, okay, I'm complying, I'm doing what I got to do, to now I might get shot. They might beat me to death. So now I'm in self-defense mode. So how is that anything to get fired over? But he got fired, unfortunately, as he's doing the right thing because of these nut jobs over here. So, I mean, that's the 100% wrong thing to do, especially when he was complying with the orders of the robbers. But I guess it wasn't fast enough, and then that's what happened. So what do you guys think should be the result? I read a comment. Somebody says, I wasn't there, ABL. Okay, so what does that mean? Tell me what it means. What do you guys think should have happened in a situation? Should Starbucks have fired these guys? Should they have not fired the guys? What should have been the result of what happened? Y'all let me know in the comments. All right. It should be a reward. That's right, Sue. It should be a reward, not a punishment. It should be a reward. And really, it wasn't even about the company policy at that point. It was about self-defense. Look, I'm getting attacked. I'm getting hit in my head or whatever. I got to defend myself. As simple as that. Very, very simple. Limited State says, I'm tired of these companies thinking their policy trumps our rights. Exactly. 100%. All day long. Now, I have more here. And shout out to the young man for doing what's right. Doing what he had to do. Oh, here's one. See, this right here is a problem. I won't show the baby video because the sound is kind of bad on that. And I don't want to show the baby's face either. But I'm going to show this one, then I'm going to get to the calls. So the CVS situation, have you guys seen that in Washington, D.C.? This is in the northwest part of the city. There's a CVS that gets looted every day almost. Here's what happens. There's a CVS right there in D.C., and whenever the truck to resupply the store gets there, what would happen is teens, and y'all know who that is, they would immediately rob the truck for snacks and just BS. It got so bad at the CVS that the shelves were empty. And it was funny because they said the only thing left on the shelves that was not locked up was what they said. They said sunscreen and greeting cards. Hilarious. Because still ain't gonna need no sunscreen out there. But anyway, I digress. That's the only thing left was sunscreen and greeting cards. Other things were locked up. And people wonder why when you go to certain parts of the country, everything in the retail store is locked up. I saw one picture of pants. I'm talking about like Walmart pants being locked up. Now, who in the world is stealing Walmart pants? I saw one picture of somebody that bought something from Walmart. It might have bought a pair of pants, and inside the pants were a bunch of receipts from underwear, like thong underwear, like women's underwear. It's like, who is stealing 3 pairs of underwear? Like, what in the world is going on with that? Who's stealing underwear, like individual underwear? What part of the game is that? Oh yeah, and here's what I'm talking about right here. The pants locked up. I'll tell you what, if you're living in a place where they got the pants locked up and you don't have a concealed carry, then you're not using all your brain cells. If they got to lock up the Faded Glory, the Route 66, the George Thomas or whatever kind of line they got in Walmart, if they got to lock that up under the water coolers in Wally World, you're in the wrong place. Have your concealed carry and have one in the head ready to rock, because you're not in a safe place. Okay, that right there is crazy. But you're wondering why they do that is because people steal. People steal. People are just, dishonest at best. Now, let's check this out. This is from DC. They were asking the residents about the empty shelves in the CVS and what's going on and why they think that is. And here are their responses.
I'm stuck. I mean, it's bad to do. At the same time, they're probably doing it for a reason. They need those things, but they shouldn't just be going in and clearing the shelves because this isn't sustainable for the store.
A lot of folks actually can't afford any of the things in there. I'm not saying that stealing has to be the solution to that, right? However, I don't know, maybe if the city could provide more accessible resources to unhoused or under-income folks that can provide them like hair care, bodily care, hygiene care, etc., that could be an option.
I'm stuck. I mean, it's...
Okay, there's so much I want to say to my brother man right here. Like, there's somebody who doesn't really understand people might see him, and people that want to categorize everybody by race, not you guys, but people who want to categorize everybody by race might want to put this guy in the same category as me. But we are completely 100% different. There's no similarities between skin tone, and that's it. First of all, the language he's using. What language is that? I speak English. What does he speak? Under-incomed folks. What does that mean? Under-incomed? You mean broke? Like, why are we creating new words? Broke people, poor people? There are simpler words to express what you're talking about. Okay, unhoused, under-incomed. It's like, you know what it does? These words create entitlement in the actual phraseology. If I just say that somebody's broke or they're poor, that doesn't give them any kind of entitlement. Under-incomed means that it's a thing that you're given. It's a gift. It's an entitlement. Unhoused, you're given housing. You're not out there earning things. You see, that's the kind of language that they're learning. I don't know how young this man is, but what he's saying right here is crazy. Talking about you got to get hair care products. Hair care, my man. You know what I did when I was broke, for real? I'm going to tell you why I'm bald head right now. And besides, I always had low cuts. Even when I was like in high school, beyond that, I would get bald fades, like the old school Idris Elba on the wire. I would have that kind of hairstyle. The Boosie fade, I would have that kind of hairstyle, maybe even lower. I had the good African child hairstyle. The Nigerian mom in the barbershop hairstyle. Cut the hair all off right now. Cut it all off. Cut it down to that scalp, Not to the scalp, because if you cut to the scalp, you get closer to God. You cut to the scalp, you get closer to God. I bego. Anyway, when I first started cutting my hair, I was trying to save money. Okay, I got a pair of clippers. Rather than going to the barbershop, getting bald fades, $20 or whatever, I cut my own hair. So it's $80 for the clippers. I'm getting cut twice a month at $20. So that's 40, 40. So in 2 months, I get the money back. Hair care products, really? Why are you trying to be pretty when you're broke, when you have no money? Only if you think you deserve money, you deserve hair care, that you got to be given these things by the government like it's an entitlement. You think that when you speak like that. If I was this dude's uncle, man, we fight, man. I punch right in his chest. I'm playing. Don't nobody say I threatened him.
Maybe if the city could provide more accessible resources to unhoused or under-income folks that can provide them like hair care, bodily care, hygiene care, etc. That could be an option.
I'm stuck. I mean, it's bad to do. At the same time, they're probably doing it for a reason. They need those things.
And the crazy part is that when they were stealing from the CVS, they would take the items and set up a street vendor stand right outside. Oh, they need those things to do what? To resell? They need to steal items to resell, not to use for themselves. Okay, why are we stealing lipstick and all kind of? They're selling it again. Why do you need to have a trash bag full of Fabuloso to sell it on the street? That's what's going on. Anyway, shout out to the crazy language that they're learning right now in school. They're not learning English. They're learning English. They're learning English plus. Just like Latinx or Latinx or however you pronounce that word, Latinx. How do you pronounce that? Latinx? It's the same thing. That's a whole brand new language. Everything about the Spanish language, masculine or feminine. But because that's somehow oppressive to somebody, I don't know who, then you're going to remove all that stuff and create a brand new language. That makes no sense. Cut your hair and get closer to God. Anyway, shout out to you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Somebody said La Twinks. That's hilarious. Shout out to y'all. La Twinks. Y'all guys are crazy. All right. Yeah, I got the bald head. I got the uncle hairstyle. I got the bald head daddy. I got that hairstyle. Cause really it was a money saving effort. It's the same reason for the polo shirts. It's done on purpose because when I was having no money, I was like, how can I look presentable for a budget? So Old Navy had these really cheap polo shirts at the time for like $8. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just have that be my style. Polo shirts. I'm in Virginia. I can wear flip-flops all the times of the year. Flip-flops, no socks. So that was my thing. If you saw me back then, it'd be a polo shirt, a pair of some shorts, maybe a pair of pants, jeans, and a pair of flip-flops. That was my style for a long time. And then when they got cold, I put on a pair of boots and the coat on top of that same outfit and a pair of socks. That's it. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. Shout out to Apu Bakr, All Puff Daddy, who says, I am worried that Michelle Obama will run for Democrats. She'll run if they request her. If they say, okay, Michelle, look, our guy is pretty much falling apart. He's not really going to actually be able to make it. You step up and take the control of the party. Apple also says if Michelle Obama runs, media are going to declare her the winner. He also says, how will Trump ever defeat Michelle Obama? Impossible. It'd be a battle. It won't be impossible, though. I won't say that. Apple also says, hopefully there will be a Bermuda Triangle rivalry between Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Michelle Obama. Democrat-Mexican standoff will destroy the Democrats. Also, ABL, you see them homeless living in caves in California? I'm going to do a video on that, actually. I did see that. I'm going to do a video on that for sure. Thank you for the reminder. I almost forgot about that one. Excuse me, I almost forgot about that one. And he also says, modern art, banana peel, duct tape to the wall, garbage. Yeah, definitely garbage. Also, King Randall, U.S. Marine Corps vet, please donate. Yes. So shout out to my man, King Randall, at the very beginning. I showed that gun safety video. King Randall, he is a U.S. Marine Corps vet. So shout out to him and donate to his school, X for Boys. Also, Apple says, ABL, what's your opinion on karaoke? Do you sing? I'm not really the best singer in the world. I can harmonize. Like, I was in the choir when I was in like a kid. True story. I signed up for my school's choir in probably like fourth grade, fifth grade. My mom is an amazing singer, actually, but I did not really inherit those genes. I can harmonize with a group. I'll give you the best background vocals ever. I'll be your best supporting singer. But then when it comes to the solo, it sounded kind of crazy, man. So that's not really my cup of tea. Also, he said, favorite karaoke sing-along song? I don't really know because I'm not really that kind of guy. Anything that I can sing in the background and harmonize to give you that kind of, that bass in the background on good money. Shout out to Ronald Lee for the donation. Thank you to Applebacker All Puff Daddy, who says, best style of fries, wedges, shoestrings, waffle, the wedges for sure, all day long. The wedges, followed by the curly fries from Arby's, and then followed by just regular fries, but with vinegar. If you guys never had vinegar on your fries, I don't know what you're waiting on. I remember I got that one time. I had some fries, some waffle fries, and then I asked the person behind the counter for some vinegar. Person I was with was like, ew, vinegar. I'm like, yeah, try it. Then I put the vinegar on there, and I was like, yeah, that set it off. The saltiness and the acidity from the vinegar is top notch. Top notch. Shout out to Miss Smiles, who says, new subscriber, thanks for being here. Thank you for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox, who says the trans agenda is to draft WOM, W-O, women. Okay, women for war. Thank you to Apple, who says, David Menzies of Rebel News. In Canada, 50-year-old man swimming versus teen girls. 50-year-old man is changing with girls' locker room. Canada is falling. Also, he says, hey, ABL, how about sharing that? Hold on. How about sharing that of yours, big house? Okay. How about sharing that big house of yours with the migrants? Democrats are asking the public for help in that mess they created. Absolutely not. They will never come anywhere near my doorstep. If they try to step foot in here, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be some furniture moving and smoke in the city. All right. Yes, please, most mundane. Try the vinegar, the malt vinegar. Yes. And also, Robbie Mill got it right. Malt vinegar on fish and chips. 100%. On a seafood platter? Yeah, because, I'm in Virginia. That's like what we do. Oh, I was in Virginia, pardon me. Growing up there, I would go to Waterside as a kid. You guys know how Waterside used to be back in the day before it's what it is now. But back in the day, you go to Waterside and you could get the vinegar and fries with like cod or something like that, like a fried fish. Oh, you got to try it. Also, Papa Naya Shelley says, pedos get their hands and feet on site. Forget the politically correct nonsense. Yo, I'm tired of these people for real. I'm with you, man. I 100% agree. Michael Critchlow says, car drives off Virginia Beach fishing pier this morning. Recovery efforts still underway. There's video. Wow. That's crazy. Well, if they did that, they did that on purpose. Like down the beach, like on the ocean front, yeah. To get that far or anywhere else, they probably did that on purpose. But definitely ocean front, yeah, you were trying to delete yourself. Thank you to Blockade MIT, who said, shout out to Devin for telling me about the trucker convoy leaving Virginia Beach. Local news does not say anything about it. Very interesting. Thank you to Martin Santiago, who says, meanwhile, my fiance just got denied for her visa. About to tell her to just cross the border and no yes, hashtag passport bro all the way. Nice Filipino girl that appreciates and is A1. God bless ABL. Thank you for that, man. Thank you to one D-head who says, Raymer real ID to prove that you're an American citizen. Thank you to Michael Richlow who says, Walgreens, CVS, Macy's, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and eBay have all announced layoffs and stores closings recently. What do you think is going on? Well, people are not buying things in retail stores anymore. And also that tech companies hire a lot during the scamdemic because of increased demand due to everybody being at home. But now that it's over, they're laying everybody off they hired during that peak of demand during the scamdemic. Thank you to Jack Burton, who says the purpose of vocal surgery is to blur the lines between women and transgenders. They want us to accept these looks as normal and female. Facts. Big 100% facts, because that look is more like that kind of chiseled jaw. That's more of a male thing. Thank you to Joseph, who says all of this to look like Transformers. Exactly. Thank you to Monique Price, who says, did you see Nicki Minaj's response to the song? Ben Shapiro, yeah. She said it was like, it sound something like Roman's Revenge. and it was not bad. I did see that she responded to Ben Shapiro. Very interesting that she's, keeping an eye on what they're doing on the right. Interesting. Thank you to RWD channel for your donation. And also, again, he says, didn't you hear the globalists at World Economic Foundation said drinking coffee is causing climate change? They said farming is ecocide. Yeah, crazy. Thank you to Emma's dad, who says justice for Kayla Hamilton. All righty. Shout out to you guys. And now it's time for the calls. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email for Skype in the description. If it doesn't work right, don't blame me, blame the white man, because you know it ain't my fault. Let's get into it. And shout out to you guys again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep on rocking. Let's go. 781, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Peter. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Not much. I just wanted to kick this off with a question for you here. So I've been watching you for quite some time now, and I've noticed that over the, years, every now and then you'll post a video that you'll comment on a video that you just find interesting, not necessarily political or with any sort of left-right sort of theme. And I always find those videos to be hilarious because I love your perspective on things. I love the way you narrate things, the way you comment on things. You got like a little hint of like hilariousness to you. Like, I don't know if you're a comedian. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way. I'd love to see it in the comments, but like, I love when you just get ranting on stuff, man. I mean, especially when it's not political. And I would love to see more of that because you got a comedic skill that I don't even think you realize you have.
Well, thank you, man. I think I'm going to do that because I've been thinking about it for a long time. I got to just do it, having a new channel, because I want to keep the political stuff. I want to keep that going, but I also want to do more. I want to kind of branch out and do other things and, show some of my other side, my more personal side. So I think I will do what you're asking for sure.
Well, I mean, I love your political stuff because I generally, when I watch it, I'm like, yep, 100%. And I share it with my friends and family and like, watch this. This is a very articulate, well-spoken man, and his perspective is very good. And, I definitely love that. But are you familiar with Ozzy Man? You ever heard of him?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he kind of like, he just, he'll just review stuff and comment on it and just be a goofball about it. And I'm thinking like, man, like something like that, just something like you just sharing your perspective, because we all love your perspective over here. And when you do non-political stuff, just like your political stuff is also very good, but your non-political stuff, like, just, it's hilarious. Like when you're talking about the Victoria's Secret model blimps and just all the other stuff, like when you were just doing the impression of the getting your hair cut as a little kid, I mean, that's hilarious. Like it's hilarious, man. It's so good.
Definitely, man. Thank you for that. And I will be doing more, just kind of more casual content for sure.
Yeah, man, when I'll be looking for that. I'll be subscribing 100%. Well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the calls tonight, man, and enjoy your night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care.
All right, shout out to the caller. I'm glad you guys enjoy some of that. I enjoy, producing that kind of content where I can just, be a little bit more casual, more relaxed. So let's keep on rocking here. I'm speaking to Skype caller. Hello?
Oh, hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me, boss?
Oh, hey, ABL, Stanley. How's it going, mate?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, everything's great, mate. Thank you. Thanks again for taking my call. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, so, I've got to be honest about Ben Shapiro. I'm not going to lie. I've kind of gone off with the guy. Not just because of the cringe rap. Like, I mean, that I know that was a bit, I'm going to lie, that was very cringe. But I just feel like he's gone a bit soft lately.
Oh, yeah.
I just I watched a debate recently with him and Destiny on the Lex Friedman podcast. I don't know if you heard about it.
Now, I have heard about this, but I've not watched it yet. So what transpired? Like, what kind of stood out to you about what he said in the debate?
Yeah, so I mean, because again, from what made me a fan originally of Ben was again just me watching him in debates, going to college campuses, and he's just very sort of, blunt and very logical and rational, and he'd just tear into people. He wouldn't ever let anyone get off the hook about anything, and that's what I really liked about him. But I watched this debate with Destiny, and we all know, again, if you know what Destiny's like, we all know what he's like, and what he comes out with. So I was expecting Ben to rip him a new one, just to tear him apart. And it was quite a long debate. I'm pretty sure it was like 2.5 hours or 3 hours or whatever it was. And Ben, the whole time, for me, straight away, it was body language. He just seemed like he was slouched. He was smiling. Now, I'm not saying you can't have fun in a debate, but he was just, again, it seemed like he was just turning up for a casual talk, just, with a friend. And Destiny was the complete opposite.
So it was like he was not really serious, not taking it as a thing that he should really show up for. Just kind of chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Originally, like when they were like on certain topics. So, for example, when they were speaking about Trump, Destiny was going in on Trump. We know he's a Trump hater. He was talking about Jan 6th, insurrection, how, and there was a question about, oh, who's a more divisive president? Was it Biden or Trump? And then Destiny says Trump, and he gave his reasons why, which are all ludicrous. And then the way Ben answers it is like he sort of disagrees with Destiny, but kind of lets him get away with it in a sense where it's like, no, Ben Shapiro, what are you doing letting him get away with that? You should be putting him in his place and telling him why he's wrong. And then it went on for a bit, and then soon, guess what topic made Ben turn serious? The Israel and Palestine situation.
Oh yeah,
so
of course, because
you know what I mean.
Like some of the other things he doesn't really care about. Not really. That's not really that important to him. That's why he wasn't really that passionate or emotional about it.
Yeah, and that's straight away he turned serious, and Destiny pretty much kind of agreed with Ben's take on the whole Israel-Palestine issue, which I found kind of odd, but yeah, he sort of agreed with him on some of the issues. But in regards to Trump and the whole MAGA movement, and I just don't feel like Ben is really a supporter of Trump. I just don't think he really like it. I don't know what it is. Again, it was just in regards to the Jan 6th insurrection. The way he talks about Trump being like almost like a child, and like he does everything for himself, and it's not he doesn't really care about the people, and he's like just how liberals talk about Trump, like almost it's like Ben sort of talks about him like that, and I find that quite interesting.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro has been vocally against Trump for quite a while, so that's not anything new. Every now and again, they kind of go back and be like he's okay, but for the most part, he's not really a big fan of Trump.
Oh, okay, so he's been like that for a while now, has he?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Okay, that's maybe I'll just So again, it's a very, I mean, if you've got the time to watch it, it's some of the topics were interesting, but again, I just felt like Ben Shapiro let Destiny get away with murder, and it kind of leaves you quite angry, you know what I mean? Because you're like, how are these people again repeating the same old garbage that we all know is nonsense? I mean, but yeah, as for the yes, for the Starbucks employee about obviously that the thing he did, so he got fired in the end, but we should be rewarding, like we should be incentivizing good behavior and doing the right thing, right? Not sort of sacking someone for it.
We should be incentivizing and rewarding good behavior, but they have certain company policies, and it was crazy because they didn't even violate the company policy. They weren't trying to intervene or anything. They were just trying to fight for their lives. But that's that's how it is sometimes, and it was really the wrong thing to do.
Like he should be rewarded with like a pump action shotgun or something. Like.
Yeah, for real.
But I just kind of feel like, again, so is that with all the CVS stores, like that's it. You don't hire security guards. You just tell your staff. You tell people, no, don't touch anyone. Just let them come in and loot the stores. And then, so what is the long-term goal of these policies by the Democrats? So it's just let all these stores be looted. Let it just basically fall apart. Let the business go down. All the staff get sacked. They've got to find other jobs. The people in the area who are not criminals, who don't want to steal and rob, they have to now find another place to shop. So what's the long-term goal of all that? Is it just everyone to move out of these cities because basically everything just gets stolen and robbed? Is that the long-term goal?
Maybe they want to kill the small businesses or the smaller businesses in favor of other businesses. Just the same thing it did during the pandemic. Okay, we're going to close down regular businesses, some of the smaller spots, but we're going to leave Walmart open. It's like, okay, well, how is that fair? So you're going to hurt the smaller businesses or other businesses in favor of some that may have given to a political campaign. But like, what's the logic behind keeping some versus others open? I don't understand.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, basically keep the big corporations open only, and then all the small businesses die out. Everyone moves out the major cities, and it's just basically big corporations. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Because we all know if they were targeted, it'd probably get sorted out real quick, wouldn't it?
That's right.
But yeah, I'll just chat for another half an hour. But yeah, great show again, ABL. Thanks again for taking my call. Shout out to the chat. Take care, mate. Have a good one.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, mates. Yeah, bye.
All right, shout out to the call. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 215 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, sorry, I had to turn the stream down in the background. So basically, ABL, I'm gonna jump to it. So I saw you talking about earlier, Ben Shapiro getting on a song with Tom McDonald. I seen it yesterday too. Like, I was on the subway train and I seen it. I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, wait, Ben Shapiro? So I saw Tom McDonald featuring Ben Shapiro. I'm like, I was like, I have to hear this. I gotta hear this. I gotta hear Ben Shapiro rap. This man was rapping, and I seen the clip. I think it was a year or two ago of him saying that rap is such a disgusting genre. It's terrible. It shouldn't exist. He was one of the biggest haters of rap, and all of a sudden he's rapping. So one thing I've always noticed about Ben Shapiro, he switches his stance a lot when it's convenient.
Right. And my thing is, okay, if you're going to do that much changing and flip-flopping, at least acknowledge it. I'm not saying this the thing that you should be doing, but at least acknowledge it. Like, okay, that you changed your stance. You were very pro-vax mandate, then you change. Acknowledge it and say why you were wrong. But then you say rap sucks. It's not music. It's not real. I hate it. It sucks. It's whack. Now you're a rapper putting out rap songs and getting paid from it and promoting your merch. The same thing that everybody else does when they rap. So it's like, okay, have you flip-flopped again? And if you have, can you at least acknowledge it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's pretty much, and I agree with a lot of stuff Ben Shapiro says, like, somewhat politically. I mean, I probably disagree with the whole Trump thing, but anyway, that's far-fetched. But pretty much, yeah, I seen the video. I was just like, no freaking way. There's no way. And then he suddenly switches his stance, and now I don't have no problem against somebody capitalizing, making money, like whatever's popular, especially with political rap. I like a lot of political rap because there's a lot of facts in it. But it's like you could just tell he switches his stance when it's more convenient.
Oh, absolutely, 100% correct.
And I remember that one time him and Candace Owens, I think they got into that little spat that they had at one point. I can't remember what it was over, but I think it was somewhere over with Israel. Oh yeah, he switched his stance on Israel too. First he was like, he said no, Israel has their own government. The United States shouldn't get involved. Now he's saying the United States should get involved with Israel. You've seen that clip, right?
I've not seen that, but I believe it.
You're not surprised?
Yeah, no, because I mean he's been like that quite a bit ever since the whole thing started over there.
Yeah, I seen the one clip where he switched his stance on Israel. Like now he's saying it. Like after the recent attack on Israel, now he's saying the U.S. should go get involved, and get involved in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Well, technically Israel and Hamas, because most Palestinians don't agree with the annihilation of Jews, which is why most of them left Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into the whole Hamas thing. I know you just feel like we should just stay out of it altogether, and I don't blame you because we got our own problems to worry about here.
Yeah, exactly.
And one more.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You good?
Yes. And one more thing I wanted to tackle, one more thing I wanted to touch on is I saw the razor. Yeah, I saw the little razor wire they had up, and now they're cutting it down, and now they're leaving it back up. It's the whole immigration thing. It's a new story every single day. It's just, and I also saw that there was. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, Anthony. They had a big drug bust in Montgomery County. No, it was Bucks County today. Bucks County, Pennsylvania. It's like right outside of Philadelphia, the county right outside of Philadelphia. These guys had fentanyl, heroin, all drugs that could kill people, a bunch of cash. And they caught them out in the suburban areas, right? And guess what? They did the background check on these guys. They said these guys, they were deported over 4 times from the United States under Barack Obama's administration, but they still came back. The one guy was deported back in 2009, but he came back, and they just kept coming back after every time they got deported. So they got busted this time. Like I think it was a couple of days ago they got busted for distributing drugs like fentanyl, trank, heroin, all kinds of narcotics, cash. Yeah, you should look it up. It's on I don't want to like tell you what to do, but it's on ABC News right now. ABC News Philadelphia, 6 ABC Philadelphia. And they just posted it like 6-7 hours ago.
Yeah, I gotta check it out, but that's no surprise because you're gonna have all that kind of stuff to come across the border. They're talking about, they just want to come to get jobs and get money. Like, nah, they got drugs, guns, they got a little bit of everything coming across. That's part of the whole thing.
And a lot of people, and that's why I talk to a lot of people. I said it's not about the immigration; it's the fact that the border being wide open, people smuggle guns, and I'm not even saying the immigrants themselves are doing it, but there's bad people within that vicinity that's smuggling guns because there's so much chaos going on. There's people smuggling guns, drugs, human trafficking, and you got some terrorists that's sneaking through the border. I got to find that one clip where George W. Bush almost got assassinated. Like his Secret Service killed two other terrorists. They killed 2 other terrorists. His Secret Service agents killed 2 other terrorists. Like I think it was 2 years ago at this point now. Yeah, 2022. I remember that. Right on. But it wasn't advertised like that by the mainstream media. But I'm not gonna take up more of your call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the caller, and shout out to you guys for calling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 707 on the line. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 707. Hello? Yes.
Hey, ABL.
Yes, indeed. It's me.
Oh, okay. Hey, good show, as always. I would just like to make maybe 2 comments going on. One is about Megan Kelly. I believe that woman has had a significant and semi-recent amount of facial work done on her because she's got the current Madonna look. You know, Madonna's more extreme, but she's got that going, that, cat eye thing. She's almost 54 years old. I don't care how much vegan stuff you eat, whatever, you know what I mean? Put on stuff, your skin is going to change. And she is at a critical spot. So I think maybe she's had a lot to kind of hold her over a while. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point, because at a certain point, you can look good at a certain point, but we all age, we all get older, and we change with time. So that's a very good point.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think so too, because I'm kind of in that same age bracket, and you're just fooling the camera. You're not fooling time, and you may look better, you may feel better. Match how you feel. I'm all about that, but it's kind of and those styles that they choose. The pouty lips, the different, the eyes going up at a certain thing. That is like carbon dating. It's like rings around a tree. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You could that's 2015. Fall,
Right.
But, okay, and then the other one is about the Starbucks. Okay, I know I can't say, they're evil, because they are who they are. And they're not alone, people. Everyone got to come down to it. You trading your life for $15 an hour, and then they tell you you can't defend your life, go for the unemployment, sweethearts. That's all I'm saying. You deserve to live. Your family needs you more than you need whatever you think you're paying off and doing whatever. No, you first, honey. That's all I got to say. Loving you guys, each and all, yeah.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Very good call and great points were made. Yeah, I almost come like she's definitely up there in age, Megyn Kelly, and at a certain point, or makeup and all that kind of stuff. I mean, hey, you might need a little bit of extra help to keep that face under control. Very, very good point. Hopefully she didn't go down that Madonna route because she's looking like the Power Rangers, Rita Repulsa, a whole mess. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing, you know what to do. Just keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to, let's make it to 6.7 on the line.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
So I was watching the video that you were talking about, the journalists, about how journalists, are lost value. What do you think is that? What do you think journalists are lost so much value? Journalism itself has lost so much value, especially in the U.S. I mean, around the globe, but especially here, lost more value than anywhere else.
Well, that's not what I said. I'm talking about like mainstream old school media.
But what is different? What it has changed?
Well, old school media, they are no longer required because at one point when they were dominant, you couldn't get news from anywhere else. You couldn't go online. You had to go to the old school media. You had to read newspapers. There wasn't much newspapers out there. Maybe it was 2 or 3 papers. You had television. First it was network TV with like a few channels. So for a long time, they were the only sources. But now it's opened up to independent journalists. And they've been caught putting out stuff that's biased to the left or to the right and not really honest. So now people are they're realizing that. And with the availability of information, there's no more need for the old guard.
Well, one is that news media information is available now. It's available like any other time. I mean, I could go right now and pull out a bill that is signed in Congress on Friday. You couldn't do that before. So it's most likely up to the individual. Also, we have YouTubers, guys like you that provide entertainment. People more likely now rather be entertained than educate. And that has become a trouble for someone that want to come across, for example, a political analyst that is out there working for MSNBC. Is not going to have the same impact that Tim Pool has because Tim Pool has more viewers. Tim Pool is bigger, even that his information, it doesn't provide any information. It's just stupid to watch Tim Pool, but it's entertaining to watch Tim Pool. Brandon Tatum is not intelligent to watch him, but it's extremely entertaining to watch him. So what is the other guy? I mean, so many of you guys out there, right? It's not intelligent, but it's entertaining. So it's a lot of entertainment. So people rather be entertained to be educated. For example, Meet the Press has lost so much value. Meet the Press was one of the best shows in the 70s. Why is no longer? Because people go online, they rather be on their phone. Oh, you watch this guy, you watch what Candace Owens said, but these people don't provide any value to anything. A source of information, more is entertainment. So that's what's happening. That is what's really happening.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm gonna just cut in. You talk for a while. Let you get your point across. Now the reality is, people that are really interested in information, they're gonna watch things that they know are gonna be less biased. People can watch me for entertainment as part of it, but also for real information. Whenever I post a video, I give you information on my website, sources, not just my writing. I give you sources from old school media, new school media, local news, national news. I give you their accounts, people that were right there, witnessed it. I give you all of that. I give you the same thing. I give you the same thing that the old school media would use for their sources. I would cite the old school media. The difference is when I present the information, it's not going to be so editorialized in favor of a political party. Difference between me is that I can come across as entertaining while giving you actual legitimate facts that's not biased. On the news media, they're not entertaining, but they would give you biased and fake and halfway true information. So if you are a consumer, what would you rather have? News you enjoy watching, you enjoy the viewer, you like him, you trust him, or the fake old school media that have a political narrative to meet, and also they're trying to please their advertisers, whether that be left or right?
No, well, it depends what you watch. For example, you posted a video of a bunch of immigrants coming in, and you see, oh my God, they're crossing the border. Well, if you really want to know information about immigration, there's two things that you can do. You could read the bills for the Refugee Act, like I told you, that you've never read.
Okay. So,
And you
all
could
right. No. It's my show. My show. Excuse me, sir.
But you see,
We don't got all day. We don't got all day. Be quiet for a minute, because now you're talking about some other stuff. Now I'm gonna cut in because we don't got all day for this. Let's not do it tonight. We're not going to do it tonight. We're going to be respectful tonight.
Okay.
So check it out. No, sir. That's not how that works. It's my show. I need you to just relax.
Well, quiet.
Now, I'm going to just talk. While you talking, it don't matter. Now, here's the thing. You're talking about me showing the video of migrants coming across. Then you want to jump to bills. Like, am I talking about a bill? Or am I talking about the migrants coming across? Am I talking about the moment of 10,000 migrants per day coming across? We're talking about some laws going on. And the laws you're talking about, when did they get passed? Did they get passed recently, within the past couple of years? Have they always been there? When did the laws get passed? So you're talking about things that aren't related to what I was talking about and trying to make it be a thing that's related. When you're watching the news, they're not going to cite some old laws been around for a long time, even if you're watching what you may consider to be legitimate news. So the laws you're speaking about, here's a question for you. The laws you're speaking about that you're saying I don't cite, when did they get on the books? At what year were they on the books?
Let's start. First of all,
the question was very simple. The laws you're citing, what year were they on the books? Answer the question, or I'll hang up, get to the next call.
The video indicated.
Excuse me, sir. The question is very simple. I'm gonna give you one more time. You know, I'm being a nice guy tonight. I promise I am. I'm being very nice. I ain't tell you to shut up. I ain't tell you nothing. I just said, sir, please relax. What year did the laws you're speaking about come on the books? Give me a year, or I'll hang up, get to the next call.
See them crossing the border.
I'll give you one more time. What year? What year?
Okay, let's talk.
All right, have a good night. Have a good night. Okay. Now, what I was trying to get him to come to was, what year did these laws come on the books? He wants to cite laws and say, well, the laws are already there, blah, 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 blah. Now, if the laws were on the books prior to Trump coming in office, then you got to ask, okay, if the laws existed under Trump and under Biden, we are operating in the same set of laws from one president to the other. So why is it such a big increase in the border crossings from one president to the other if we're operating under the same set of laws? It's because the Biden administration is refusing to enforce laws. They're refusing to secure the border. It's very simple. It's nothing that we can really discuss and have a conversation about if you don't want to be honest. All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Hey, I'm trying to mute my TV. Yeah, man. Just to speak on the border, man. Did you read that bipartisan bill that may come on Biden's desk?
I've not read the bill, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, man. From what I surmised, it was like 5,000 immigrants can come in for asylum claims, and after that, any immigrant that comes in afterwards gets sent back to the country. The problem I have is, man, I need to know if this 5,000 are they coming in legally through the ports of entry, or are they breaking the law? Because if they're breaking the law, no Republican should agree with that. If they're breaking the law, they need to be turned right back around and get sent right back to the country. They should not be allowed to break the law and come in at a 5,000 mark, because all this does is just adds incentives. Like, United States doesn't need any more incentives to allow illegal immigrants to come into this country. And the thing is, like your last caller, man, liberals do not want any border control, period, man. They want a wide open border. So what liberals always say, and if you can listen to them, even Eric Adams of New York, or what's that Chicago mayor name, Brandon Traitorous Johnson, to black people who would look the black people in the face and talk about I understand your problems while absolutely ignoring them and using all of Chicago's resources for illegal immigrants, housing them, feeding them, giving them shelter while poor black people live on the streets. But the black people in Chicago are just going to have to reckon with their bad voting habits. But yeah, what Democrats want is they always say stupid things like we need more judges. We need more people to process them. All this does is provide incentives, because just think about it. If we have more judges, right, and just we process them faster, you know what that does? That just has more illegals just cross the border. None of this addresses the problem of these people breaking into this country illegally. You got to have some type of punishment. And I don't want to hear about this family separation nonsense. I hope that if Trump gets elected, he needs to reinstate the family separation. Because the thing is, if me and you, let's say we were dirt broke poor and we have families to feed, and we walk into a gas station or any store or Walmart and we steal some food. Guess what? They're going to separate us from our family and take us to jail. So I'm sorry, if these illegal immigrants come over with their kids, I don't care. You broke the law. You knew what you were doing. So now you're going to have to get punished. And I don't feel bad for them, man. These people are so brazen. They know the United States doesn't want them here, especially Texas. Well, let me rephrase that. They know Texas is a conservative state. They don't want them there. I don't know about these liberal states, but they don't care. You see what they are doing with the razor wire. They're just putting on thicker clothes and still risking their families with their children to cross the razor wire. These people don't care. And then when they get over here, they know that the American taxpayer, especially in these liberal states, are going to take care of them. So it gives them a sense of entitlement. So no, I don't think the Republicans should sign on to any border bill that does not enforce the border. Meaning, you come over here illegally, you got to get sent back home. Period, man. That's it. And the other thing is about Ben Shapiro. I agree. Ben Shapiro is a grifter, man. I mean, he doesn't debate anyone of serious intelligence. Destiny is a YouTuber. Nobody knows Destiny for anything but being on YouTube and playing video games. And then Destiny is pro-liberal status quo. So he does the whole gender debates, the whole feminism thing. He's on that team. These are the only people Ben Shapiro can debate. I didn't even watch that debate, but I was listening to one of your callers saying that Ben Shapiro just let Destiny walk over him. Absolutely. Ben Shapiro does not debate policy, man. If you look, Ben Shapiro has been pro every single war. With the United States, I think Joe Biden went in and just bombed Yemen. Tucker Carlson criticized it. I don't even think Trump was for that. Vivek wasn't for that. Of course, Ben Shapiro cheerleads it. What war doesn't Ben Shapiro support? And this is why Ben Shapiro even has tepid support of Trump, because Ben Shapiro is a part of the Bush wing establishment. He just grifts off of conservatives in the MAGA movement for money, clicks, and views. But Ben Shapiro, policy-wise, I don't think he agrees with Trump on any policy. If you would ask Ben Shapiro right now, should Trump end the Ukraine and Russia war, Ben Shapiro's probably going to say no. That hypocrite is going to say no. If you ask Ben Shapiro, should the United States focus on its own country and ignore Palestine and Israel, Ben Shapiro is going to say no. In fact, if Israel were to ever get into a war, Ben Shapiro is going to probably support these conservatives to go over there and fight a war on behalf of that country. We got to stop, man. We got to wake up, man. We got to stop allowing these grifters to grift off us. Ben Shapiro, it does not say anything of serious intellect, man. So yeah, man. Andy, last thing about Trump, man. This Eugene Carroll, man. We already know what this is, man. All this is another thing to tarnish his character. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. These little 91 indictments, this just works on sheep. These sheep, all they do is watch the media. They don't know anything. They don't know nothing about Trump's policies. They just watch the media, and if the media says hate this man, they're going to hate this man. And I'm going to end with this, man, as proof of what I'm talking about. Piers Morgan went on The Breakfast Club. He specifically asked Charlemagne, take your emotional feelings out of it. What about Trump's policies don't you like? That was bad for the country. Do you know what this idiot said, Charlemagne? He's such an embarrassment. And, you know, liberals like putting these black, idiotic liberals out in front of black folks so then that way they can, quote unquote, like speak for us when they don't represent us at all. But Charlemagne says Trump elected 3 conservative Supreme Court justices. So what Charlemagne is saying that if a Republican president becomes the president, is something wrong with them for electing 3 conservative judges when we know Barack Obama before him elected, I believe he elected 3 liberal judges, including 2 gay judges. He didn't even put a black judge in power. But because Charlemagne is so stupid, the worst thing he could name about Trump is 3 conservative judges. And that's what I'm saying. This stuff is for the lemmings. These people don't even know why they hate Trump. They just watch whatever they are told, can't even tell you a policy disagreement, and then they spread that across the black community. Then the black community just parrot that nonsense. They don't even know why they like Trump. And now the black community is about to be a permanent underclass, about to be ignored, replaced by illegal immigrants because they do not know what they support until the last minute. The black community is going to be last to the party, and they're going to suffer for it. That's all I got to say, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Well, there it is. Shout out to my main man, Shareek. Fantastic call, amazing call. Very well said. Couldn't have said anything better myself. And the phone lines are jumping. So y'all please hang tight. Let's keep on rocking here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Who am I speaking to? 757 on the line.
ABL, how you doing?
It's all right. What's going on?
Hey, this is Emma's dad calling. Talk about Kayla Hamilton. I know my wife had talked to you about a month ago. She was just at the impeachment hearings for Alejandro Mayorkas.
Okay.
I sat in there with her as well, and I just have to let you know that, you know, during her testimony that she was given for the death of her daughter at the hands of an MS-13 gang member juvenile teen that was stopped crossing the Rio Grande by Border Patrol, not checked for tattoos, not checked for any kind of criminal history, that was let go and made his way all the way to Maryland to murder and rape her. You know, we're sitting in there in this impeachment hearing. Mayorkas didn't show up, didn't have the guts to show up. The Democrats are in there on their phones during this entire hearing while she's giving her testimony. You know, it's just a tragedy. She had a news interview with the lieutenant governor of Texas the other day, and, you know, in total support with her, you know, and what Abbott's doing down there is what needs to be done. I mean, this is a safety issue for all Americans. You know, nobody's properly being vetted. You know, one simple phone call to El Salvador would have turned this criminal, this monster murderer around. He should have never been allowed in here. And to top it off, just so you know, now there is a $100 million lawsuit that we have filed with attorney Brian Claypool of California against DHS and DHHS. I'm not sure if you've heard of this.
Well, I've not really heard about it, but thank you for calling and let me know what's going on. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the time.
No problem. Thank you for the call. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, the border is crazy, and people are really suffering as a result of the border being open like this. All right, let's keep on rocking here. The phone lines are jam-packed. Y'all please bear with me. 931, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Bill.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going? Big fan. Pipe man here. I just want to touch on Ben Shapiro and the Texas border real quick, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
First of all, Ben Shapiro, I really like the guy, but yeah, as far as the rap stuff goes, it's kind of cringe and everything like that. But I can kind of relate to him. You know, back in the old school days, early '80s, late '70s, early '80s, you know, we all like rap, but you know, beyond that, the mainstream rap was kind of not something we liked, you know. It's just kind of like anti-white stuff like that, you know. And we didn't kind of get into it, so I can kind of understand where he's going with that. Still kind of cringe doing the rap thing with him, though, but I kind of understand it.
Okay.
But I just had to say that, but you know, it's whatever. But talking about this Texas border thing going on between the feds and the National Guard down in Texas, and a lot of people are I've heard a lot of, you know, about Civil War, and several months ago, me and my wife were talking about, you know, Civil War and blah 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 blah, and I'm ultra conservative, and thanks to you, Candace and Tatum, kind of helped me convince my wife here, you know, to be conservative. But her main thing was, you know, when we're gonna, if we're going to a civil war, you know, which side am I going to be on? And I think this, it could be an opportunity to, I don't know how to put this. I don't know how to.
Just go ahead and say it, man.
Well, okay, so my wife's black, and she didn't know, you know, she thought it would be a white versus black type thing. I'm like, no, this is more of a philosophy type thing. You know, my people are those people that agree with me and have my philosophy and, you know, think along the lines that I do, and which she does as well. And it just took some time to convince her that, you know what, it's not a race thing, it's a philosophy thing. You know, my people are those that, you know, we think alike. We think this and this and this and this, you know, on a conservative perspective, you know, and, you know.
So so I got to ask a question. So you're referring to the whole thing with Texas, right?
Yes. Yes.
So basically, it's real simple. Either you're an American or you're not. If you're an American, you want what's best for America. It don't matter what color you are or whatever. American. If not American, then that's it. It's really just as simple as that. It ain't really nothing else to it.
Right. Absolutely. And it's and I don't understand how being an American, you're like, oh, we don't want, you know, we want this influx, you know. And I think a lot of times, just being around her and her family and everything like that, it's like they don't embrace an American. Like we don't want illegal aliens in here. We don't want illegals in here. We just want Americans. It's like they don't embrace the fact that, oh, we're American too. You know, does that make sense?
I understand what you mean, but you know, at a certain point, the way I explain it is, hey, it doesn't matter what color you are. You're an American. You got a blue passport. You're a citizen. You're an American. Now, you may have issues with the country. You may not think it's perfect, and that's fine, but it don't matter because you're still American. Now, they're coming across illegally, non-American, doing whatever they want to do, and they're able to skirt the law and not be punished for it. They're actually rewarded for it by getting money, resources, everything else. But if one of us as Americans, because that's what we are, if we do something wrong, if we break the law, we go straight to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. We're all going to get locked up as Americans for doing the wrong thing. But non-citizens are able to come over here, take our tax money, and do whatever they want to do as far as coming into the country illegally. So I break it down to them like that. Sometimes they're not really going to be able to see things from your point of view, but just say it like that in the true, non-disrespectful way. And it didn't make sense at that point, man. But thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate you, ABL.
Thank you. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. 773, you know line, who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for squeezing my call in.
No problem.
ABL, I just wanted to, I'm not going to defend Alec Baldwin, but I just wanted to make a quick comment on that situation and gun safety. You know, in real life, you have to be aware of your, you know, where your muzzle is at and all the safety things that come along with, you know, owning a handgun or owning any kind of gun, just like the video with those kids. You know, I mean, as a policeman, you know, my weapon had no safety. There is no safety on my handgun. So, you know, one in the chamber and, you know, full magazine and pull it out and shoot. So there's no safety on that gun. But the thing is, you know, gun safety on a movie set is the only place where it's your job to point a gun at somebody. I mean, that's the story. You know, you see all kinds of movies, you know, people are holding a gun to somebody's head. You would never do that in real life, but you're holding a gun to somebody's head in a bank robbery in the movie or shooting at somebody and pointing it at people. That's why it's the armorer's job to make sure that that weapon is safe. And that female armorer, you know, her father is a long time, nearly retired armorer, well respected, and he had his daughter on the jobs in the past, but he was trying to get his daughter to be the lead armorer and kind of take his place, and she messed up. You're not supposed to have any kind of live rounds on a movie set. You know, they were playing with the guns and shooting at targets over here, and then she thinks that she can keep it together. You know, when the movie is playing, you can't do that, and somebody got killed. And I'm not defending Alec Baldwin. A lot of people don't realize about a hair trigger. You know, before all yours were lost in a boat accident, ABL, you might know about a hair trigger. Some triggers, that's why you never put your finger within the trigger guard, because sometimes you just touch the trigger, just tap it, and it goes off. So, you know, I'm not defending the guy because he's also liable because he was a producer on that movie. So he hired that armorer. So he's got all kind of liability. But just him as an actor or anybody as an actor, you know, if you're handed a gun with live bullets and you don't know it, you might kill somebody with it on a movie set. And then my main point was the immigration, ABL. I don't know if you heard, and now they're talking about the effect of immigration on the redistribution of House seats. So what they're saying is the more you can flood immigrants into certain areas, you could change the seats of the House because those immigrants are counted in the census as population. They count people. They don't count, you know, whether you're an immigrant or you're legal or illegal. They count bodies, and it could change, you know, the way the seats in the House are picked and chosen. And here's the last thing, ABL, is, you know, if you notice the vice president, she never said that no people are coming across. She just keeps talking about, you know, securing the border, you know, orderly and everything else. They're still letting people in. Don't, you know, even if you agree with them, don't you think as a country, I'm asking this question to those Democrats and leftists, don't you think that this country has now had its fill, that we can, you know, reasonably handle the cases of immigration in this country, that we should close the border for that reason alone? Just close it down now so we can process the people we already have, which I think we should send them back. But even if you're on the Democratic side, as a Democrat, don't you think that there's enough people for the courts to handle, that we should close the border and not let one single soul across? We have our fill. It's ridiculous. We know what they're doing. It's apparent. And here's the thing. One last thing, ABL. Right now, these people are accessible to us because they're looking for services. But God forbid when they go underground, because a lot of them already have. They're not asking for services. They don't want to be known by our government. They want to hide because they're afraid that maybe the tide would change and send them back. So right now we have a lot of people looking for services, and we have a handle on where they are and who they are, at least that. And as soon as Trump wins, all those people are going to go underground because they're going to know that we want to send them back. They've come here illegally. So that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, there we have it. Fantastic call, and that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. I'll be back again live on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content right here on the YouTube channel. If you guys aren't subscribed for whatever the reason may be, please do that. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Thank you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate y'all. I got super chats on deck. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to MS Dad, who says justice for Kayla Hamilton. Thank you to LXDX for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Peter Vasta, who says, when you make the other channel, let's get some clothing with your one-liners like Bit Rocks, Little Rocks. You'll get to that Tatum level fast. Right on. Shout out to you. Thank you for that. He also says, and don't get it twisted. That's a good one, too. Okay, glad y'all like that one. Thank you to Don Dunn, who says, from Humboldt County, Trump rules, Biden's rules. Humboldt County, California. Shout out to you. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best. I will see you guys again on Wednesday. But, of course, I'm here throughout the entire week putting out pre-recorded content. Y'all, please follow me on the social media. Follow me on the Twitter. Follow me on the Facebook. Follow me on the Instagram. I'm everywhere. Y'all check me out. And maybe I might do a sneak little Instagram live here and there. Who knows? I always say that. I pop up like the Candyman or the Bigfoot. You might see me occasionally get a glimpse, and then I'm out on Instagram as far as a live stream. But I'm putting out content every day on all my platforms in various ways. So that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.